Hello and welcome to the Hawks Nest live stream show. We got ourselves game day today, folks, and I hope you are strapped in, ready to rock, because we're just getting closer and closer to the regular season, and our Seahawks are going to get through the majority of their preseason games after today. But we've got ourselves game day action on board for you today. Not probably going to see a lot of starters in this football game, maybe a little bit of Geno, perhaps. But this is still going to be a great chance to see a little bit more on display, some of that really nice depth that the Seahawks showed you last week with their nice win over the Chargers on the road. They've been out in Tennessee this whole past week with these inter-squad practices, which have been ferocious, as you might expect, though not any real notable fights, which was good to hear. Only one real major potential injury in there. And overall, it sounds like they just got some really good work in throughout the course of this week. So we're going to just see what it goes down in this game, see if these guys can solidify themselves a little bit more behind the starters, make the roster. These are the guys that are, fighting for their football lives. As you always like to remember with this, I often hear people talk about preseason not being a thing of much interest, or these are guys that have been playing ball for all their lives. They love it. They want to continue to do it. And they're fighting like crazy to keep their hold on their professional career. And to me, that makes it very interesting to watch. So we'll just get to see hopefully a little bit more of our Hawks too, maybe on some more of the unveiling of the new schematic designs in place on both the offense and defensive side of the ball. Mike McDonald, is he going to run some more blitzes this week in this game, or is he going to keep the cards close to the vest like he did last week? And then offensively, just get to see a little bit more of what Grubb brings to play. Let's see how you guys are doing today. We've got a couple minutes here just before the game. Cat's already causing chaos out there. Cat's ready. Cat's ready for game day. Nazir, how you doing, man? It's good to see you in the house. James K, what is up? Kelly, hello. Booyah, Grandma. What's up, William? Herbicide, good to see you. Peter, hello. Go Hawks, everyone. Tyler King, how you doing? Will you be showing the game or just reaction? Yeah, Tyler, I can't, unfortunately, I can't show the game. If I showed, 10 seconds of the football game, the stream would be shut down, which wouldn't be of use to anybody at that point. So there's not an ability, unless you can catch it from the reflection of my eye, to actually show the football game. Sorry, bro. Ricardo says, I'm ready for some Murphy action. I'm ready for a little bit of Murphy action, Ricardo. Then we just, we start rolling that bubble wrap around him, Just bubble wrap him up. Boy, the cat's suddenly just totally reacting like it's game day right now. Hold on 1 second. Hey, come on. They're hyped. They're ready. Free Truth, how you doing? Nazir says, hold on, he's going for 100 today. Let's go. I want to see it. Land AAC, my hope is that Daryl, Taylor, and Dwayne Eskridge can play well and roll on this team. Let's go Hawks. Me too, man. Me too, Land. Rockman's got Kenny McIntosh for 2 touchdowns. Let's go. Yeah, Kitty's ready to fight, man. They suddenly just got it on. I don't know. They get that 6th sense down when I go live. They're ready to strap it on. Chris Page, how you doing? He says, watching the game from Nottingham, England. Well worth a midnight wake-up call. Go Hawks! Well, thank you for watching tonight, Chris, all the way across the other side of the world. I do appreciate you for doing that. And I love that we got our 12s out spread across this worldwide globe. It's just such a beautiful concept, and never anything I would have considered as a young man, but I love it. Love it. Thomas Cox in the house. What's up, Thomas? Isaac is in the house too. Hey, how you doing, man? Just hashtag more Bobo. Bobo out there making more catches this week during practice, wasn't he? Out there getting it done. We're a minute away here from kickoff. Get the game cast hopefully up here shortly for you guys. As if you're unaware what these doing, live stream shows on a game day are a little different than normal. As we will be, I'll be doing the play-by-play throughout the course of the game, though we'll be, of course, chopping it up in a post-game discussion afterwards. So we'll definitely talking a lot of Seahawks today. Mark Harpercorn, what's up, man? good to see you in the house. Thank you for reminding me. Please do hit that like button as you folks walk on in the door. Just go ding, hit that dinger right there. Maybe sub up if you want to too. I don't know if the urge compels you. Mr. Grubb, what's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you in the house. BLM says, I cannot wait for this game. I can't either. Hawks have been, by many reports, kind of giving it to Tennessee this week. I wonder if Tennessee's going to kind of come back in this game and try to, even the scales a little bit on that side of it. Hans says, hello, everyone. How you doing? Representing out there from Belgium. Hans, my man. Long time member of the channel. One of my OGs in the chat. What's up, man? Rockman, this game will be intense. Mark my words. I agree. All right. Here we go. We are live. For some reason, it's not showing up on my... Okay. This is where you like it, where it like... Come on, man. Okay. So we're kicking off here. We got... looks like they're just still starting up there. Okay. Always the fun part of preseason when you're trying to make sure. I got the NFL Plus on, but I'm trying to see if this is going to be on the YouTube thing too as well. It's supposed to be. We'll see. Flying Blind checking in from Arkansas. Should be a fun one. Go Hawks. It's good to see you in the house, Flying Blind. And man, we got the Hawks Nest, not just worldwide, nationwide out here. You know I love that. Hope you're doing well out there. It's good to see you. We'll get a lot of Malik Willis tonight. Literally Patrick Mahomes, who is starting at quarterback for Seattle today. I thought that maybe Gina would get a little bit of a cup of coffee series. I don't know if he'll be full on starting today, but at least a series of them. I imagine you're going to get a lot of Hal. Hal's got a lot to be kind of figured out. I think the only way you're going to maybe look at it from a coaching staff perspective to figure this out is just give him a lot of time out in this game. I would expect that. I'd suspect that. A good 2.5 quarters of Hal. Something like that. Hans says, but here for good content. Thank you, Hans. Appreciate it. Nicholas Newton, how's it going, man? Samba Brock, very excited to see how Reek and Spoon will do in Mike. New scheme. Me too. Me too, man. Really good fits to this scheme, too, and what they bring to the table. Their abilities fit well with what Mike McDonald will ask. With Woolen, it's just a little bit of get the tackling going, get that up a little bit, continue to improve on it. It doesn't have to be Sherman 2.0 as a tackler, but just take it up from kind of where it was at. Robin Jimenez, what's up, man? It's good to see you. James Rulin starting us off with the donos. Thank you for James 5th dono in the chat on that. Thank you for that, man. Says, appreciate you, brother. Keep up the amazing work you do. Go Hawks. Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate your donation and kind words as well. I love what I do when I get to do this, and I get to do it often because of your guys' support. So thanks for that, James. And go Hawks, man. Let's just have a great game here today. Let's, chop it up. One quick text I need to send out. Good to go, Terry. All right. So we are good and we are on, it looks like here, which is good to see. Thank you again, James. Appreciate, again, not just your first time, but many times over the support here to the channel. Ran of the Cut. He's been a member for 13 months here in the Hawks Nest. Thank you for that. Ran of the Cut. Oh, over a year as a member of the channel. Says, I hope to see more INTs. I'd like to see it too. I think it's the thing that'll be maybe harder to see within this game because they'll have to come about by, like you saw last week or almost saw again twice over last week, where it's a tip ball and then another member in coverage picking it up. Because my guesstimation on this is that Mike has been running the games and blitz stuff with Tennessee throughout the week this week, and he's going to come back into this game And he's going to more, I think, try to, I think he's more going to try to take it in the direction of staying vanilla on the fronts. That would be my impression. Yeah, that may not work there. They're trying to show the kickoff rules, I guess, here. Cool. Cool. But I think that stuff will come about too, Rand, once you get to the regular season and you are running more of those games. You are doing more of the blitz stuff. And then now you're forcing the quarterback's clock to be sped up and get the ball out of his hand. And once you do that, bingo, bango, you're in that position to be able to start to see more of those easy interceptions. Less of the guy having to purely jump the route, get in front of the ball, but more of the anticipation, seeing the quarterback's clock speed up, seeing him wanting to go to that hot route, and you jumping as a defender. Thank you, though, for all your support. Ran the cut. We almost got the start kicking off here. Stimpy, 12 months as a Hawks Nest member. Another over a year of membership on the Hawks Nest channel. I thank you guys very much for that. It says, I haven't been able to catch many streams live, but I love the VODs. Thank you so much for doing everything you do. Well, thank you, man. We got the kickoff going deep here now. Looks like McIntosh took it from Laviska Shenault. He's taking it up the field here, still going up the field, and he will be knocked down there. Very nicely done. Boy, this is not gonna work on this thing. YouTube app a little dodgy here so far. See if it knuckles down a bit. All right, so I guess it is going to be Sam Howell to start things off here. 1st and 10. Sam in shotgun. He's going to throw it out wide here to Laviska Shenault. Shenault on a bubble screen out wide will take it for not very much here out the jump. Second down and 9. Shotgun look. 3 wide. Tariq Young comes in motion prior to the snap. Titans showing a little bit of a run blitz look there, and does kind of stifle things. The line of scrimmage there with McIntosh, who takes it for a 3-yard gain inside. Kind of has to pick around a little bit to go find his hole there, but it was able to do so. Empty look here now, 3rd and 6 for Howell. McIntosh comes back in motion. Howell dropping back to pass. Throws it to no man's land there. Looked like he was caught between trying to throw it to 3 different people on that play and then just ended up throwing it, splitting the difference. I don't know why he didn't throw to the flat there with McIntosh. That's the read. You got the blitz. Go hit the hot. That's processing with Sam Howell. That's at the center of the day today with him on what he's got to be doing. Blitz is coming. You've got the Grubb sent the guy to the flat there. You need 6 yards. There's an easy 6 to be had there if he throws it to the flat. But he gets caught sort of staring down, trying to pick between 3 different options that he doesn't, any one consider, it doesn't feel like in the way he's looking through it there. That's why the throw ends up kind of sailing on him there, because he's sort of not really trust through your reads, process through what you're seeing. Jeff Bays, how you doing? It's good to see you. Montana in the house. Let's go. Y2KH, welcome to the Hawks Nest as a Hawks Nest Pro Bowler. I know you've been a member before as well. Thank you for that support. I do appreciate it. It's good to see you in the house too. Tim Shimmy, what's up? Yeah, it sounds like T. Gino's probably not playing on this one. Does not seem like it. Malik Willis out here. Shotgun look. 4 wide here. 3 wide and a tight end. They're going to play action. Pass. Drop back here from Malik. He's looking around. Finds his man. Out running back. Leaking out of the backfield for a nice gain of about 14 yards. Good job by Malik Willis on his own right to process through there, finding the back. $12:51 to go here in the first quarter. Titans their first possession of the game. Under center is Malik now. 2 tight end look. 3 4-man front countered by the Hawks. Troy Brown coming up trying to tackle. He does his best. He sort of just slams himself off the ball carrier until Derek Hall can arrive. God, I hate when they go to the graphics like that. Like, Derek Hall looks like he might have just injured himself. They're like, get to the graphics showing what the punt and the kick returner did last week. These producers are dumb. Hopefully Hall wasn't hurt there. He looked like he had, just as they flashed to it, he was reaching up to his shoulder. He's out there still. Okay, so he must be all right. A little worried there after that. 2nd down 10. Inside give out of a read option look here. Grinding is the back. He'll get himself a gain of maybe about 3 yards or so. Julius Chestnut is the running back for the Titans. And no, I'm not playing with you. That's really his name. It almost sounds like Julius Chestnut. Ooh, we got a false start here by the right tackle and Darrell Taylor there. This will make this 3rd down a little bit tougher. He's trying to make his case that Taylor enticed him. Doesn't look like the referee's having any of it. 3rd down and 12. Seahawks showing a little double A-gap mug pressure look here. Sends one guy, Mafi, from inside there. Pressure coming off the edge, and he is going to be taken down. Nicely done, Derek Hall. Continuing to have a strong start here to his preseason. You had Mafe coming from the inside, running a little Euro step off the inside. Hall bringing pure power off the outside. Hall got around the ankles, and Mafe cleaned him up around the head. Very nice job there on the pass rush. A little double A-gap mug pressure look there. You get a little bit of some games running there now on that play with McDonald there, which was cool to see. 4th down and 26. Seahawks defense remains pretty solid here in preseason. Fair catch called there. Seahawks will take over at the 37-yard line in their own territory with 10:13 to go. Nice punt. Just with these punters, I guess we're not going to commercial break today, I guess. Okay, there we go. I got to switch this up. This app thing ain't working. What? Doo-doo. Okay. Bear with me one sec here, folks, please. There we go. Athletics. Wow, they run. What the hell is this? Boy, this YouTube app is awesome. It's really great. You pay the $100 a month and then they still run 9 straight ads when you first walk in on it. Holy listen. Okay. Y2K says, thank you for the $5, Y2K. I appreciate it for that. Says, how do you think Brock Bowers will be short and long term? Just did my fantasy draft 2 quarterback leagues. I think I killed it. I would anticipate Bowers is going to be a very, number one, I like the guy's talent. I trust that he's going to be a good player. So I'm with you on that part of it, Y2K, which is what draws you to him. The other part you like from a dynasty perspective is that he's playing on the Raiders, who are going to probably be behind in a lot of football games. And so they're going to throw the ball a lot. And so as long as he can stay healthy, by that measure, he should get a lot of targets, touches, and catches with it. 1st and 10 here. Hal under center now. He is going to give inside here. Kind of a wall of defenders. Come on, chill out, please. Let's relax. McIntosh for a gain of 1. Okay. Come on. Chill. Please relax. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. $9:40 to go here in the first quarter. Shotgun, Sam Howell. 4-man look front from the Titans. Oh, looks like we got a bit of a false start here. Kind of sloppy to begin things off here. Christian Haynes, the rook, gets hit with that. Second and 14. Al dropped the back. Yeah, Sam. Fumbled. Sack. Hal. Sitting in the pocket like he thinks he's on a recliner. You got to do something with the ball, my guy. The same thing just shows up with this kid where it's just this not being decisive in what he wants to do with the football. And not being aware, and it kind of goes together with being unaware of the pressure that's around him. Like, step up in the pocket here. Step up hard in the pocket here. Climb it. He does like one step up and thinks that's going to work. 3rd and 24. Al's going to roll out here and take about a 4-yard gain here, leaving the Seahawks to punt. Indecisive and unaware of the pass rush. 2 of the just beginning points with Sam Howell and his experience so far here with Seahawks that we've kind of seen. A lot of room for this kid to grow and improve, but Game asks, who do I expect shows flashes in this game? I'm not sure, because I'm not really sure of who's going to get played that much. Derek Hall would have been a guy I would have pointed to in this game, because I do think he's going to get some, run. But the backup inside linebackers, with Radigan and Tyrese Knight, I think those are 2 guys to keep a real close eye on in this game, how the safety position continues to shake out with the competition that's there. Hololani, McIntosh are the 2 guys in this game you want to really be, kind of tracking with that same kind of competition. Yeah, Thomas, that was not impressing on through this first blush, and it's not just in reference to this opening couple of series. It's that the same issues and problems for him are continuing to show themselves up here. And I'm okay with giving some room for a young kid, saying give him time for that to shake itself out and grow and develop. But also, it can't just be something continuously as an issue. And these are things that are kind of correctable quarterback-wise. Decisive in your decision-making, understanding you don't have an 8-second clock back there as a quarterback. I know the pass rush looks bad on that play to a degree, and it's not like the offensive line held the line there completely, but at the same point in time, he's feeling the pressure. He does the one step up into the pocket, climb all the way up. The pressure's all going up around you. Climb on up if you're still insistent on keeping the eyes down the field, or tuck it and then run at that point. And instead, much like that first throw on the first drive where he's kind of caught in between making a firm decision one way or the other, you just feel like he's caught in a little bit of a no man's land on the decision making there. Monsoon, it's good to see you in the house, man. I did see a Darrell Taylor signing out there, Antoine Cobb. He caused the right tackle to false start on the last drive. Part of the reason why I think, too, you got to give Sam Howell a lot of run in this game. We got to give him he's got to work this stuff out. We can't throw him on the backup and be like, well, just let him learn behind Geno. Get him out there and get as much game tape as you can for Grubb to chop this up with him and try to bring him along. Because these last two games may be the last chance he gets for a bit of time to do that. And that's why these two preseason games for Howell, I think, are so very important. Rand says you can keep your potential. Sack fumble is not it. Y2K, though, I think you're going to be good with Bowers, man. That's a great sign in there. I mean, even if he doesn't go for a prodigious amount of yardage, he'll get you the catches and should get you some touchdowns. Shotgun look here for Malik Willis. He's going to flip it, fake pitch it outside, come back to throw it the other way. Nice creative little bit of play design there on the rollout. Kobe Bryant's there to take down the ball carrier after the catch, but not before he gets himself about 14 yards on the crosser. 7:35 to go in the first quarter. Nice little play design. Good job by Darrell Taylor there, staying under control, getting his hands up. It's just a nice throw there by Malik Willis on the run. First and 10. Seahawks bring a little bit of blitz here now with Radigan coming up. Gets picked up by the running back. Malik Willis ends up throwing it over the receiver. Kobe Bryant's in the near area, as he always is, where there's a wayward pass. You'll oftentimes find Kobe Bryant just an opportunistic guy. But maybe the pressure speeding up a little bit of the clock with Willis there. Seattle dialing up some pressure looks here this week, unlike last week. Not just the four-man fronts. Second down and 10. Shotgun, empty look here for Malik. Darrell Taylor, nasty little spin move there. Forces a quick throw there from Malik Willis underneath. This will bring up third and long. Short completion. Hitting Jaquan Jackson, the rookie slot there. Inside little stop route. Taylor with a spin move. I ain't seen that in his bag. He been working on his little baby hook this offseason? Little baby hook. Third down and 7. Mafi Taylor off the edges here. Radigan in the A gap. False start by the left tackle. They're getting jumpy. Folks. Second false start of the game here for the Titans. And a little bit dirty on both sides of the ball for both teams here, a little bit offensively speaking. We're not exactly watching peak 49ers late 80s here. Third down and 12. 6:22 to go in the first quarter. Shotgun. Malik dropping back to throw. Taylor flushes him out of the pocket. Malik trying to throw. Ends up throwing it away from the receiver, incomplete. Very nice job by the pass rush from the Seahawks. Both edges, they were able to supply their share. And Taylor Comes off the spin move to the inside last time, comes back with a pure bull rush power, catches the arms nicely. Like what I see from him there. Mafe ends up driving the throw to be premature a little bit from where Malik wanted to do it, being thrown on the run there. But Taylor, I like what I'm seeing from Taylor here so far. Another punt here from the Titans. So drive back the return for Seahawks. Williams, he's going to dance around a little bit, maybe perhaps too much, and still gets himself about a 5, 6, 7 yard gain. Thomas Cox, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate you for that. I keep asking, is Hal better than this year's college crop of quarterbacks or even the 2026 crop? I would say that to your question, that's the part of the answer that you hope to ascertain over this next year. I think that there was not a way, in my opinion, I don't think you can take a final amount of data from his experience with Washington and say this is the player he is at 23 years old, coming off of his first starting experience, understanding how oftentimes quarterbacks will look in their first starting experience, especially that when that's in a bad environment or environment not conducive to that quarterback playing well. And so this is a year about making that assessment. And my deal on this would be to say, Thomas, when it comes to the crop of quarterbacks for, next, than this year's crop of quarterbacks, I think for the crop of quarterbacks that were available, if you're going to say trade up in the draft or go up and get multiple picks, I mean, that's where the argument, it just isn't as clear as Sam Howell or go get the quarterbacks in this draft. Sam Howell or go get J.J. McCarthy, Sam Howell or go get Michael Penix. It's like, well, then we're starting to also have to talk about the draft capital involved with that. There's more to it than that. Whereas with Howell, you gave up a very minor amount of draft capital for this kid. We didn't put a huge investment in him. But I think that Schneider kind of answers you a little bit with the trade of Howell to your question on that. No, by his measure, and I would tend to agree with him, that the quarterbacks in this last draft weren't at where Howell, or that they superseded him, those that were available to the Hawks past those first 6 quarterbacks that were taken. And that you have time on the second part of that with 2026 or 2025 or whatever, 2025 draft to make that assessment. You both make the assessment that Sam Howell is not the guy now, and then also to look at have another year of those quarterbacks in this college class to ascertain whether or not they are good enough to be those guys. Or if you've got to go maybe make a trade for a guy or find a creative solution to it, as other teams have sometimes had to do. But I think the other part of this to me is that, look, I'm down on Howell, but I also think that I want to give this time of assessment. I don't want to be jumping the gun on this. That's the whole point of us not jumping the gun on the prior year that he had last year with Washington. Let's get the full view of it, then we'll come to our conclusion on it. I don't think he's bad, and I think the things that are issues in his game can be corrected. It isn't flaws in mechanics or an inability to make the throws that are needed. 1st and 10 here with Howell after the commercial break here now. 3 wide receiver look. Hololani in the backfield next to him. Play action to nobody there. Throws come back and it's completed. Drake Young makes the catch on a comeback route there. Kind of a weird play action there. The running back left in motion. And Sam ended up getting his arm hit there on the throw, still able to push it in there to Derek. 2nd and 5. Empty look here. John Mabry goes in motion, spreading the 5 wide out a little bit further. Blitz here from the Titans. Pick it up, kid. There you go. There you go. Smart play by Hal. There we go. Read what's in front of you. They go empty. Mabry spreads it out a little bit wider. Titans bring up 2 linebackers to blitz. There's going to be a vacated area. Hit the vacated area. Finds Laviska Shenault underneath on a short little route for a first down. It's not complicated. It turns into something very simple. It's not going to be a big play, but that's the processing thing I'm talking about. See A, go to B. Shotgun. 4-man front. Hal again in shotgun here. The 29-yard line, Seahawks own territory. They're going to run a fly sweep here to Laviska. Not much there at first. Laviska running strong, fighting through tackles, getting himself 4 or 5 yards where there looked like there was about nada Nada there. Seahawks finding ways again for a second straight week to get the ball into Laviska Shenault's hands. And I like to see it. I think he's going to have a role here on this team, and this is going to be that role. You can see how he's uniquely hard to bring down as a receiver. Not a Debo Samuel, but, just little shades of that stuff there, with it. Little shades of it. 2nd down and 5. 2 tight end look for the Hawks. A lot of men around the line of scrimmage for the Titans. They're sense and run. Pitch play outside to Holani. Holani gets to the edge and gets himself about 3 yards before he's banged out of bounds. Bringing up 3rd and short. But I think you bring up a good question on this, Thomas. And I think you also bring up, this is going to be really the keynote next part of this team as far as the quarterback position as we move into the future. Is that's kind of the final part to this rebuild process, is what will be their approach to the quarterback of the future here over this next year. Because there will probably be some kind of decision made. And the Howell thing, it could become him, but there's time enough for it to become one of those other guys you mentioned in those other draft classes. Thank you, though, for that donation. Shotgun for Hal here. Blitz coming by the Titans. Hal able to step forward into the pocket. Finds Barner there for a catch and run. Nice play by A.J. Barner. A little short play, but a good job there of Sam Howell climbing back up the pocket, sensing the pass rush. I'm not so sure if he saw the blitz there. I think the blitz did catch him a little surprised, but he was able to climb on up there and then keep his eyes upfield, finding Barner. Nice play there. Very nicely done. Here we go, Hal. A little bit more under control now, maybe. Pistol look formation for the Seahawks. 3 wide to the far side of the field. Barner goes in motion. Handoff inside. McIntosh running strong, running hard. 13-yard gain for McIntosh. I guess they're going to give him 12. It looked like 13. I think they robbed him of a yard. Strong inside run, though. Decisive downhill inside running by McIntosh. 1 cut, get up the field, get behind your pads. Churn out what's there to grab. 1st and 10. Nice drive here by the Seahawks. Pistol look formation for Hal again. He checks based on something he's seeing from this Titans front. It's a 5-man front. They're showing an under look here almost. Gives it to McIntosh. McIntosh, a little bit of space. Cuts inside again. Another 12-yard run there for McIntosh. And how about there? Sam Howell with a nice check. Huh? Interesting check. I think they had a pass, and I think he checked it to outside zone here. Yeah, it's a counter, actually. Kind of a counter outside zone. Kind of a creative run play there. But it looks, he's definitely ran into the check there to do that. Nice job by Sam. Good little drive here. He's started to oversee a bit. 3 wide. 4 wide. Laviska goes in motion here. Titans bringing the blitz here. 5-man blitz. Howell going over the top. Beautiful throw by Sam Howell. Touchdown, Seahawks. Sam Howell feels the blitz. Knows he's got one-on-one then on the outside. Just a nice layered throw right over the top, giving his man an opportunity to run underneath the ball and really secure it. Coming down pillowy, soft into his hands there. Almost caught itself. It was such a well-thrown ball. And there's the good of Sam Howell that I talked about. There is the good that's within this guy on that drive you saw. There is that potential you saw within him. Correct those things that are holding you back, and they are not things that hold you back that can hold other quarterbacks back. Limited arm strength, limited mobility, elongated delivery, horrible lower mechanics. Things like that can be problems for other quarterbacks that way. He doesn't have those issues necessarily. It's about that processing and reading things. Part of why, Thomas, the question you asked earlier in this, I have so much confidence a little bit in this kid as a potential, not as the guy, but as a potential guy who can be that guy who can develop into this role over this year as we make this assessment of him, is because he has a lot of ability to get it done. It's just about those parts of his game that are the young man parts of his game growing into the elder statesman parts of his game. And then that's where you'll get your best version of Sam Howell. Is he going to get to that place of growing there now? We'll see on that. But it certainly is an encouraging drive. There was a variety of things he was doing that was pretty nice there on that drive. So nice job, Seahawks. Touchdown. Preseason going strong. Snail, thank you for the $5 donation, Snail. I appreciate you for that. And thank you guys for all your support. Very kind of you. I need a 53-man with Aesop Winston, Devin Richardson, and Abe Lucas. That's a Super Bowl roster. Go Cougs. Oh, Snail, if we ever had a Super Bowl roster with 4 or 5 Cougs on it at one time, I know there would never be the end. We'd never hear the end of that. How many Huskies were on that roster? How many Huskies were on that roster? Hey, I meant to shout out to you, man. I don't know if you saw the Pro Football Focus. I don't know if you noticed this, man. The Pro Football Focus grades from last week. When you look at him, your guy on defense, Devin Richardson. He only got 6 snaps, man. 8th highest rated defender last week. Washington Cougar Devin Richardson on 6 snaps. How about that? How about that, Snail? Huh? How about that, Snail? And Myers missed the kick, by the way. I just totally looked away from that. Oh, no. We're supposed to be in for a good Myers year. Are we going to have to go for it on 2 every time? Are we going to have to be that team? Can't Dixon do the drop kicks? I know this seems like a joke. I'm legit asking. Can Dixon do the drop kick thing like Doug Flutie did back in the day? I've seen him do it at practice. He's rugby, man. There's a rugby man who can hit the PATs. He'll knock 'em through the balls. Stick 'em to a tee. He's a rugby man who can. Okay. Here we go. Defense. McDonald just slowly, like a curtain on a stage, slowly being pulled back with this defense and these fronts, and adding a little bit of that spice. Let these couple of drives here to begin things. Last week it was all Vanilla Town. It was all Vanilla Bean, at least on the front. Coverages were changed up. And I'll tell you that this defense, I'm sure Malik's been seeing it in practice a lot, so that's probably helped. But these coverages for the Hawks are not the kind you want to have running usually with Malik. He's had a couple years now in this league. I'm sure he's had some time to himself grow on some of those same things that Hal needs to improve upon as well. 1st and 10 here for the Titans from the 30-yard line. 1:09 to go in the first quarter. Hand off to the running back. He's swallowed up there. Miles Adams climbing down the line of scrimmage to catch him just as he's getting down there. Darrell Taylor also in on the action. Well done. Taylor and Adams, 2 guys trying to make this roster right now secure some kind of footing. 2nd down and 9. Taylor with a nice ghost move around the edge. He gets washed out. Malik's going to run it here, and he's going to slide right at the 1st down marker. We'll see if they give it to him or they... Looks like they're going to have it a little bit short as he went into a slide there. Taylor did a nice ghost move there around the edge, but he ended up getting kind of washed out. No, he didn't. Yeah, Malik just kind of stepped up in the pocket, though. Taylor continues to show a couple of different little pass rush moves he's bringing to play here. 3rd down and 1. Shotgun look. 3 wide to the far side of the field. They're trying to get him to jump off sides here before the end of the first quarter, and they do not get the Seahawks to do it there. So it will be 3rd and about a half yard when we get back at the start of the second quarter. Washington FistQuest, thank you for the $2 donation. So shout out to Tyler Mabry. He's like our Bob Euchre. He is like our Bob Euchre. He's been around for a while. He has been around here for a while. That's like third year or something with us, Fish Quest. And shoot, that injury to Farrell might help get him a spot back up on that practice squad when it's all said and done. Thanks for the donation. Y2K, thank you for another $2 dono. Says, can I get a scout on this Adonis Mitchell Coates wide receiver? Well, he's a guy with all the ability in the world. It's a guy that there's questions on him about, and maybe they're not unfair or fair or not unfair. There's some slight questions there about maybe how much, does he love football? How much with the work ethic stuff? But a guy that's got all the ability in the world that if it clicks in for him, if he, can, realize that if those are issues, maybe they're not an issue. Maybe it's just been something that some general manager drummed up around the draft to make him drop in the draft. But he's a first round talent. He didn't have first round production coming out of Texas or his college history. So there's just the question on whether or not that's a guy and that's always the hit or miss part. That's always the hard part to predict. If you have a guy that's got all that talent, but you're not sure if he's going to really lock it in, if that's really, something that's going to happen for him. For some guys it does, for others it doesn't. And especially once you make a guy a multimillionaire, that question I think even looms even larger. But the Colts have some receivers around there that it's not just his job to go take. So he's going to have to earn it. The kid out of Cincinnati, I think, is still a reasonable player. And Pittman, I think they just gave some money to. So that's their number one. So probably going to do a lot of running in that offense as well with Jonathan Taylor there. So I like him. I think he's going to be productive in that offense. But he feels more like, even at his highest production, it's more of a, 50 catch, 750 yard guy than a guy that's going to push up around 1,000 yards in his rookie year. He's got the ability to do it, but I wouldn't wager on that part. Y2K long term, sure. Third down and short. They're going to come in here with a heavy kind of goal line almost look here from the Titans. A little brotherly shove play that'll get a first down from Malik Willis. And Tyler, indeed, as I'm seeing many people in the chat mentioned, Jason Myers is definitely not necessarily delivering for what we're paying for the man. But unfortunately, because of the structure of the contract, you're still stuck with him for another season. Next offseason, I think you can start to look at finding ways to get out from under and save some money at that point in the deal if he doesn't perform this year. But we're on this roller coaster. It's already left the station. It's going to be what it is this year. Malik under center, 2 wide receivers. He's going to hand off on an outside zone. He cuts it back inside nicely, does the back. Ooh, nice little hit there by Kayvon Wallace. Wallace got a little bit of some hit stick to him. I like that. Nice run, though. I like that play by Kayvon. Nice job. Second down and 4. 13:44 to go in the second quarter. Again, under center here with Malik. A little less shotgun here on this drive. Seems to have suited him a little bit better. Handoff. Initial penetration by Mike Morris, who gets his hand on the running back, slows him down, and then Jonathan Radigan and Derek Hall are there to clean it up. Ooh, Derek Hall getting chippy down there. That's one man I wouldn't be stepping to. I'm going to pick a guy in the Hawk defense to start yapping at. It ain't going to be Derek Hall. Nice play. Not a yard gain there. 3rd and 4. And Mike Morris was in penetration there in the backfield. Shotgun from Malik Willis here now. Surveys over the defense. Seahawks bringing just the front 4. Taylor, Hall off the edges. Ooh! Another nice smack. He holds on and makes the catch. This time Tyrese Knight. Good job, Knight. Ooh! Ooh, a little bit of TNT in those pads. Nice little hit there. It is a first down on the play. Mike Jackson, Trey Brown, your corners on the outside. Seahawks come up in here with a little bit of a fatter front look here. Play action pass. Malik Willis looking. He completes the ball, but we got a flag on the play. It's a little 7-yard completion of the running back underneath, but looks like we probably had holding from the offensive line. And that is what that will be. Like it happened inside there. First and 20, 12:07 to go in the second quarter. All right, we got shotgun now, trips to the far side of the field. Seahawks mixing up some of their pass rushers here. Ball's dropped and bobbled and then finally reeled in after a 3-yard gain. Willis hit as he threw the ball very quickly there. Pass rush continues to be pretty good for the Seahawks. Was that Miles Adams? Oh, no. Mike Morris. Woof. Mike got him good. Wasn't a huge hit, but that's a legit knockdown right there. More starting to show up on this drive. All right, Taylor and Sharif, the kid that was kind of a monster at the end of the game last year, off the edges here now. We got a designed run to Malik Willis right from the jump. He'll take it right up for a good little gain of about 9 yards or so. Let's bring up about a 3rd and 9-ish. Jeff says, love the play-by-play. I hate trying to figure out which one of our guys is on the field by the TV announcers. You're spot on. Go Hawks. Thank you, man. I will try to note it because I think in preseason especially, you want to know who's out there on that field doing what, as these guys are getting kind of rotated through a bit than we might normally see. It's interesting to see Sharif out there early on right now. A little bit of a stack box from the Seahawks there defensively. It does confuse Malik. Boye Mafe able to create some pressure. Gets the throw off late. The ball will be incomplete. Trey Brown there on the coverage. Made a nice play, looks like, late on the receiver. A lot going on that play there. Trey right in the back pocket. Little grab there he got away with. Does he get his hand on this? Or does that receiver just drop that? Oh, the receiver just kind of dropped it. Went off his shoulder pad. That's why you don't want to catch with your pads, kids. Because the pads are bouncy. This punt will go deep. Nicely fielded there, as there was a lot of action around Williams, the returner there. And the Seahawks will take over deep in their own possession, but defense continues through this preseason period to be stout. Front line, back line, third line, take your pick. Everybody is doing their job. Stifling in the run defense, stifling against the pass rush, coming and bringing the heat on its side of it. All the way good around here. 8 carries, 28 yards here for the Tennessee Titans now after their first 3 drives. Malik Willis 5 of 8 for 30 yards passing through the first 3 drives. So defense continues to really be impressive here through this early preseason period. War Chief, thank you for the $5 donation. War Chief, I really do appreciate you guys, man. You're awesome. Says, aloha, B. Aloha. How are we doing? I'm at work, but y'all keeping me updated. Mahalo. Go Hawks. I think we're feeling good overall. Hal started out a little bit brutal on those first 2 drives. He looked a little bit of the tentative Hal. I've got to think of a name for him off of his own little, like when it's in the wrong side of it. But he turned it around big time on that 3rd drive. Conducted himself very well in a couple of variety of different areas. Running backs continue to run really hard with Holani and McIntosh. That does stand out. And this defense, above all else, continues to be impressive from stem to stern. What part do you want to address with it? The tackling, the tightness of coverage, the pass rush, the stopping the run, the discipline. It's all there right now so far and what you're seeing from it. And even that last play with Malik Willis where it is an incompletion and everything becomes frenetic. You can feel it. Stack boxes come up and instantly you can just Look at the body language of the quarterback when it happens. Go just stare at the body language. Look at the feet. Look at the hands. Everything starts to become very nervous when those boxes get stacked like that. And it informs the quarterback post-snap. As you saw Malik start to already bail out of that pocket pretty quickly. And Mafe was able to create, I think, a little bit of pressure in there on that to cause the flush. But it is those things both. Thank you, though, War Chief, Watch Fizz Quest, Y2K, Thomas. Appreciate all you for the donations and support. We got 10:21 to go here in the second quarter. Hal's back out on the football field. Seahawks will be taking over from about the 13-yard line. We'll call it 14-yard line, their own territory. We got a Bobo sighting. Barner, Derek Young on the field for the Hawks. Sam under center, 2 tight end look. McIntosh in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Stiff arm. Nice stiff arm by McIntosh there. Hey, Marshawn Lynch, what did you think about that stiff arm?
Just now?
It's just a little baby stiff arm.
That was a nice little stiff arm there. You got McIntosh to the edge. He had a defender one-on-one with him off that edge. Gave him a little bit of the Johnny come lately, how you doing? And knocked him right down and off. Nice little play there. Picks up 5 yards on the play on something looked like it was completely snuffed out. This is thrown down the field and completed. Almost taken down, almost housed there by White. Hal dropped back and hit the seam route. Just a go ball down the seam by the slot. And Hal recognized it off the rip that it was wide open. Nice play by Sam Howell. Beautiful ball placement there, putting it inside, away from the closing defender, trying to get to go make a play on the ball there. And Hal, after that touchdown throw, maybe feeling a little bit of confidence now. We're getting a little bit of the confident Hal. Back under center here now. 2 tight end look for the Seahawks. Hand off to McIntosh. He's getting downhill for an 8-yard gain. Nice big hole by the offensive line opened up there on the left side. Second down and 2. Al again back under center. Still 2 tight end look here. Play action pass. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket. Finds McIntosh out of the backfield. McIntosh with a nice dead leg stab in the ground. Loses one defender. Cuts it back inside for a gain of about 3-4 more additional yards up the football field. First down, Seahawks. Good job of feeling the pressure there and then keeping his eyes upfield, which Hal's done over the last couple of drives really well. Eyes upfield. Russell Wilson, of course, master at this we saw for many years. Don't just start getting yourself into being a runner, head down in it. Keep your eyes up. Keep yourself scanning and surveying. Shotgun look 4 wide for Sam now. 1st and 10 from the Titans' 31-yard line. Drops back to pass. Pump fake. Loops it back over the top. Finds his man, Brady Russell, who looked like he caught it and fumbled it. We'll see if they'll count it as a completion. If he did fumble, he just sort of fumbled it unprovoked. He caught it and sort of went like this with it. I don't know. They might review that catch on that one if I'm the Titans. You might get a challenge on this one because it looked like you might have just come up and the thing flipped right out. Yeah, you'll get the challenge here from the Titans. Brady made a nice catch. That's not even one of those situations where you say he started to run with it before he caught it. He had caught it, and he just, as he caught it, it's sort of like the momentum just of the ball coming in sort of carried all the way up through off of the top of his shoulder a little bit. Kind of a weird looking play. It was like he was, you know, this move when they do this move where they're like rolling the ball on their, like when they roll the They roll the basketball like the Harlem Globetrotters do. He almost was kind of doing that move with it. Like, whoop. I blame his long hair. If he cut his hair, that wouldn't have happened. Kenny McIntosh balling. That's right. Kenny McIntosh looking really good. 6 carries, 40 yards, 6.7 yard per carry average. Got himself also a catch for 10 yards out of the backfield in this game. Please do hit that like button for me, folks. Y2K, thank you for another $2 donation. Y2K, keep all the love, man. Appreciate you for that. Says one more scout. Jermaine Burton. It's Jermaine Burton. Bengals wide receiver. Yeah, this is the kid out of Alabama. He was one of my draft sleepers with Bama and coming out. He's a guy that has played a lot of big-time competition throughout his college. I think he's a guy that has a lot of reminiscence for me back to kind of Doug Baldwin a little bit. I don't think he's Doug Baldwin per se, or that he'll be that player, but that there's enough elements within his game that are very closely aligned with that in how he plays that gives me confidence that he's going to be a productive receiver in this league. The issue with the Bengals is you do have a good stacking of wide receivers there, and not just your first two guys. They have the kid they took out of Purdue that they're still very high on from last year. They might even have another guy in the mix on that in addition to it. There's just a lot of guys there you have to work your way through on the depth chart to get out there and play for that team. But he can play inside, he can play outside. He's ready to go. He had a lot of college experience. He's not a raw guy in how he plays. Really strong hands, explosive to the catch point. Very good route runner, very competitive. You can hear why there's some shades of Baldwin in there in his game. But that's my issue with his. If I was getting him in fantasy, it's about then stashing him kind of onto the back burner and thinking there might be either the Bengals at one point or another trading T. Higgins if they can't be really good, or that there's an injury and then he can ascend at that point. But he is a very good player. And I thought in a draft filled with very strong wide receivers, Y2K, I thought he was one of the few underrated receivers in this draft and how he was looked at. 1, 2. I mean, I don't know on that one how to call this one. He didn't get 2 feet down. I mean, yeah, Jeff, I could go either. You could talk me on this one into it either way. It did look like kind of like that Harlem move that it is sort of spin around. It will be overturned. So Seahawks back at the 31-yard line now, 2nd and 10 for wide receiver look here. Titans threatening a slot blitz, picked up by the running back. Hal seems to recognize it, gets it into Laviska Shenault on a nice catch for a 15-yard gain. Seahawks confidently moving the ball down the field here on the Titans. And Sam Howell has looked different over the past 2 drives from the first 2 drives. That's slots coming with the pressure. Your back's picking it up. Ball's still got to get out of your hand pretty quickly then. You can't sit there and ask that running back to be holding up in pass pro for 10 minutes. And he didn't. Bam, ball's right out. Finds not really a hot route receiver, but the shorter route, get the ball out of the hands. Inside handoff here, looks like to Holani, who's swallowed up into a sea of light blue jerseyed bodies. I don't think there'll be any gain on that one. 6:31 to go in the second quarter. Titans defense trying to gain their breath. They're breathing heavy over there. Second and 10. 2 tight end looks. Grubb's been leaning into this a little bit more here the course of this game. Pitch play outside to McIntosh. He's got some room to work with. McIntosh continuing to run strong. Good job by his blockers getting out ahead in space. And that will be a gain of about 6 yards there. Pitch plays. Get to the edges. Good things happen. Challenge the team speed of the defense. And as you can see with Grubb, comes off of attacking an inside A-gap run. They have that really secured. Feels like maybe they're leaning in a bit on that inside run. Maybe they're kind of starting to kind of snarl the bodies up in there a little bit. Go to the pitch then. Let's go to the edge then. Good sense there by Grubb as a coordinator on that play. 3rd and 4, trips to the far side of the field. Hal back in shotgun. He's got a too high look here. He's looking around, and he's going to eventually get swallowed up there for a short sack there. We do have a flag on the play. This Heighton kid for the Titans has looked very good. Face mask. Like it's on the Seahawks. Penalty will be declined, of course. So I would reckon here your Seahawks are probably, unless we're going to see a view of Big Balls McDonald, we're going to probably get a field goal attempt here. The Titans dropped everybody back in coverage that time. McClendon Curtis gave up a little bit of pressure from his side, flushing things up. Got to remember, too, with Curtis playing another week of right tackle, that you're going to be kind of holding on for most part over there with him over there, because that's not his natural position. Here comes Myers now after missing his first PAT attempt in this game, and he will come out and poke it right down dead center middle of the uprights. And the Seahawks will take a 9-0 lead. So another nice drive conducted there by Sam Howell and company. Sam, 8 of 10, 115 yards, 1 touchdown, 147.9 rating right now. It's going to be hard for many to pick much at that. Good job of running by McIntosh. 7 carries, 46 yards, 6.6 yard per carry average on his part. Not bad. Christian Haynes is Ricardo Indeed playing at left guard. You got Bradford at right guard. Oluwatimi was your center. And then we have Stone Forsythe at left tackle. So we're not running out our grade A unit across the board necessarily. And Jeff Bays, there's no chance of Chenault being cut. The team planned on this in advance, which I just say, like you're saying it for the reason of he's looking so good, he's got to make the roster. And I agree with you, he does, and he should. But I also do the tip of the cap to the front office on this, because part of getting Laviska to come here was giving him the guaranteed $1 million deal. We're not going to bring you and you have to earn your roster spot. There's probably other teams offering him that kind of probably opportunity. We gave him a little bit of the extra carrot to say, we'll give you the guaranteed $1 million deal. Not a big deal, but we're going to basically guarantee your full season of his salary. And he's like, okay, bet I'm coming. I'll go do it. And this is why you're seeing why they did that. Why they, for this guy, when you do have other receivers, even that they knew that they had on this roster, like a White or an Aesop Winston, that were good players, why you went with this in this direction of things. And he's going to 100% be here in the long term. You're right. He's looked really good. And yeah, flag. Curtis is not a tackle. He's a guard. So if you see we're seeing pressure with coming off that edge of McCurtis on a play, or it's leading with that on a play, like that one there, when you have so many guys dropping back in coverage, it's going to be tough on the quarterback. It's going to be tough on everybody else on that one, and including Curtis. And he's just trying to hold down the line to make sure that we're going to get to the opening week with the hopes, I'm sure, of having both Fant and Lucas at their best or close to at their best by game 1. Well, Stangren, isn't this supposed to be Jason's good year? It's supposed to be. We shall see. All right, we got always the interesting kickoff here now that will go down here from Jason Myers. He will set up. Come on, Jason. He will kick this deep down to the 2-yard line, where it'll be taken by the up back there. They're going to try to draw this all the way back across the field, and that's going to work really nicely down to the 40-yard line. We do have flags all over the place. 2 flags coming flying in. Looks like maybe a hold here on the Titans. Kind of an interesting way you saw the Titans returner try to do that there, where you catch it to one far side edge right next to the pylon there down by the 2-3 yard line, and then you as you're taking it up, you're cutting it all the way back across the field as you're coming back to go find that hopeful gap there that your return team is setting up over on that side. Most of the time, you'll see them kind of go up and just attack the straightest direct path or little offshoots. We'll go up left, we'll go center. If I start out left, I ain't going to end up all the way right. But they're going to try out all these little fun iterations in this preseason to figure out which one works and which one doesn't. 4:58 to go in the second quarter. Malik Willis is out of the game. It's Rudolph time, baby. Mason Rudolph. He's going to hand the ball off here to the running back. Mason last year kind of went ham mode on your Seahawks in the Steelers game. Had a couple of throws in that game where he was looking like prime Aaron Rodgers. Gain of about 5 there on first down, outside zone run. Julius Chestnut still in the game for the Titans at running back. A little 4-man front handoff again here. Seahawks stifle initially, but good patience by the back, and he's out in space working down to the 50-yard line. A nice run there by the Titans running back. Seahawks looked like they had the play clogged, but the Chestnut man made it happen. Good patience on him not to force that hole, give it a second to open up. Looks like Derek Hall lost his edge there a little bit to me. Yeah, Derek Hall got pushed out of his edge there. You can't get moved out of that. That's the part I want to see good with him this year. Another handoff inside. Seahawks are ready for it. Miles Adams having a nice little game here. Wraps around the blocker and is able to find the ball carrier just as he's going through the hole. Mike Morris was also around in on the action. Only a gain of 1. 3:24 to go here in the second quarter. Both two teams have all allotments of their timeouts. Shotgun look for Rudolph. Drops back to throw. Flips it. Even before the receivers turned around to see it. Nice job of that by throwing with his anticipation there by Mason. He will complete it and take it upfield there for about an 11-yard gain. First down. Mason just hit that back foot and let it rip. Catching Seattle back in kind of a soft zone coverage look here. Let's see if McDonald starts to maybe tighten some of this down a bit. He's definitely run a little bit of some pressure-based stuff in this game, but for the most part, again, has continued to stay away from it. You're getting just kind of 4-man looks. Taylor and Derek Hall are the two guys off either edge here. Back under center is Mason Rudolph. 3 wide. Here's the give. They're going to attack Taylor's side. Gain of 7 or 8. Taylor wasn't completely yanked out of the hole, but he was pushed enough to create a hole there. Second and 1, and looks... Oh, no, we got the 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning. Megan, thank you for the $5 donation. Good to see you in the house, and I hope you're doing well today, Megan. I know it's a tough day today for you since you just got home from Dad's Mass at church. Little shaky, but here. What'd I miss? So far, it's been a really good defensive performance from your Seahawks again. Mason Rudolph on this drive has had the best drive so far of the day by far for the Titans. Sam Howell, tough first couple drives. Last couple of drives looked locked in. Just a whole different version of kind of a Howell than we've seen those first 2 drives. So showing you some of the good of what he can bring. Running backs running strong. McIntosh especially has been very, very impressive in what he's done. No real players super standing out, I think, on the defensive side of the ball above anybody else. Everybody's had some of their moments and some of their flash, some of their good, some of their bad, I think, including with the Derek Hall and Darrell Taylor in this game. Created some pressure. Also had a couple moments here in their ground game where they've given up some things. Miles Adams looked good in the inside at defensive tackle. Mike Morris making his plays back in the backfield there, Megan. Linebackers continue, I think, to look pretty good here. Radigan and Tyrese Knight have both been on their A game from the looks of it to me. But nothing but pretty much solid here for a first half again from your Hawks all the way around. Thank you, Megan. Appreciate you. Donnie, how you doing, man? AC Journey, K9 looks big as hell. He does look like he's in his best shape. They had that picture, too, of him in the practice squad. I don't know if you guys saw that, of him looking like Adrian Peterson, where it was kind of wild to watch, where he was, looking like there was a cut of him. I have to find it on, maybe I can find it quick here. He looks just like, when he shaved his head, he looked just like him. See if I can find it. Here we go. I mean, tell me this guy doesn't look like Adrian Peterson. That's totally Adrian Peterson, right? Kind of wild. I mean, we're getting a mini Adrian Peterson here. Maybe he's turning into his final form of Adrian Peterson. All right, second and 3, 2 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Please hit that like button if you could for me. AC Journey football is back, baby. Let's go. Second down, 3 from the 34-yard line, Seahawks territory. 3-man front from the Seahawks with Hall lined out wide. Blitz coming off the other edge. They jumped the route and almost picked off by Kobe Bryant. Kobe saw it, pulled the trigger, jumped the route, and just about was able to go out and make a play on the ball. Oh, if the ball's just thrown a little bit wide there, if he threw it inside to Rudolph, and maybe that's why it was just a throwaway where he just threw it off away from the receiver, not giving it a chance, because if he threw that inside, that's a pick by Bryant. Good late pressure there. 3 times that McDonald has actually brought pressure in this game, it's gotten home or affected the quarterback. Pressure on a front 4 now. Rudolph's going to try to scramble with this ball. He'll get knocked down to the 31-yard line, and he will be just short. Great job of pursuit by the Seahawks defense. Looked like Rudolph might have his opportunity to get there, and they closed in fast there. I think that was Knight closing in there late to shut that down. 1:33 to go here in the second quarter. Clock continues to roll. 4th down and 1. Titans look like they're going to go for it. Probably going to be a tush-push type action here. Looks like McDonald's happy to let them roll this clock down. Titans just going to call a timeout. Yeah, it looks like they're going to call their second timeout of the half here with 1:20 to go. Ricardus is playing Taylor a lot. Snaps has the effect on the opposing running games. Yeah. That's the thing about that. Some of these runs, if they're going over Taylor's side, you go. The Hall one, I'll get a little bit more going. Come on, Derek. You got to do better on that one. But the Taylor one, you're like, well, Taylor's never going to be a good run defender. It's just not his bag. If he can be a good pass rusher, like he was kind of flashing earlier on, he's got some pass rush moves he can bring. He's got some legitimate get off and quickness and dip and bend. Just can he consistently bring it there? This totally looks like a tush push. Total tush push. And it looks like he got it. Spot by the officials is going to give it to him. First and 10, 57 seconds to go in the second quarter. Dropping back to throw here. Looking back inside, completes it inside for a gain of 14, 15 yards there. Seahawks come over and wrap on up. First and 10. Rudolph looking good here. Going through different progressions there. Had a little bit of pressure on the backside there. Still able to get the ball off and complete it. He's played well. He's finding the holes in the inside middle of this Seahawks defense here on this drive, mainly. On top of them running the ball well. don't know why the clock stopped. Did they call a timeout here? "44 seconds to go." Don't know why the clock stopped there. Boy, another easy completion and touchdown. Seahawks defense made it a lot more easier on that drive. You have a lot of your backups in the game here, but soft coverages and easy holes in the zones there to pick up on. And that will be a touchdown. Two Hawk defenders near there. DJ James close in coverage as well. Nice drive by Mason. "38 seconds to go in this second quarter." Hawks do have 3 timeouts. See if McDonald plays it on that side of things. This kick will go up and through, so Seahawks 9-7 lead here. Who's 40? I think that's Blake Lynch, I want to say. Yeah, it's Blake Lynch. Former Baylor player. That was the guy next to DJ James there, both of them trying to close in on the route. That's where the kickoff rules kind of come big into play here with 30 seconds, because before you could kick it off to the end zone, get the guys out at the 25-yard line, there'd be 38 seconds and not enough time to do anything, even with 3 timeouts. Here you have the potential of, and the strong potential of being able to get this pushed up around the 40-yard line, and that sets you up so much differently with that time remaining with 3 timeouts on the board. This kick will go down to the 1-yard line, will be brought up from there. Doesn't look like there's a lot of room on this play, though. You're not getting near the 40-yard line on this one. Derek Young takes it up where he can. 33 seconds left to go. This would be a good spot to bring Hal out for this situation and let him kind of rip, I think, a little bit. See what you can do, kid. No pressure. But let him try to conduct this. He's got the 3 timeouts. You got a good 3 plays. Good situational work point here if you wanted to from a coaching standpoint. Looks like they are. Shotgun here for Hal. 4 wide. Dropping back to throw. He's going to try it up over the top here and try to hit Bobo. Coverage was close. Bobo couldn't quite reel it in on that one. Blue Hawks, is my orange kitty sleeping also? Man, they love game day, man. They love game day. I know. Yeah, say hi to everybody. 2nd and 10 for Hal. Shotgun. Again, 4 wide. Blitz threat look here by the Titans. They don't bring it. 4-man front. Hal winds himself up out of the pocket. He's going to roll out and look. And he's going to run out of bounds there. 20 seconds to go. It'll be about a 3rd and 3 here for the Seahawks. AC Journey? Yeah, Bobo makes the team. 100%. 3rd down and 5. I gave him a couple extra yards there. Seahawks still do have their 3 timeouts, but they got to get up the football field here quick if they want to even have Myers attempt to kick here. 3rd and 5, dropping back to throw. Howell lets it rip across the field. He's got Bobo there. First down, Seahawks in a quick timeout. 2 plays. And that's pretty much what you got here to get up the field. So 2 plays, 2 timeouts. Bobo, nice catch there over the middle. Quarterback here, just try to attack the middle of the field. You feel like the Titans will probably stretch themselves out a little bit with their coverages to more of the sidelines. That's preseason, though. Coaches all probably also a little more willing to flip the script on things. But you did see how they're attacking Bobo in the middle there. Those kind of in-cutting routes like that will oftentimes be open as the defenses are going to try to protect deep, protect the sidelines. Empty look here for Howell. 4-man rush from the Titans. Dropping back to pass. Howell lets it rip. Great completion down there to the 39 to Aesop Winston. Quick timeout by the Seahawks. 8 seconds to go. Wonderful play there. Wonderful play. And a very good job by the offensive line, especially your edges there. They've got to give it a kind of an extra beat because you need these long developing routes to get down the field. It's basically getting stop routes down the field. So just a little bit of extra time it's going to take for that stuff to develop. And good job on their part getting it done there. So they are theoretically, even right now, on the outside of Myers' range. He's got the leg to pump it in from here, but you would like to give him about another 8 or 9 yards to make this a little bit easier. 8 seconds for Howell. He can even try to run this really quickly if he wanted to, just take it right up the gut, but you got to be quick. He throws it. Looks like it is completed. Brady Russell making the nice catch. And out of bounds at that with 3 seconds to go, so it's Myers' time. Howell with a very nicely constructed drive, and what a throw there on the run, hitting the man on the sideline as he's heading out of bounds. They're not showing a replay because they can't because there's no timeout here. But very, very nice throw there by Sam Howell, and a great catch, it looked like that by Brady Russell. Jason Myers on the right hash here will set up. The hold is down. The kick is up. The kick is good. Jason Myers able to hit the deep kick there. And the Seahawks will go in halftime with a 12-7 lead and a well-played first half at that. And Fabio with the toe tap. That's right, Space, right? Let's go. Fabio there with the toe. The hair helped him there. The hair worked against him last time with the swivel ball move that he made. On that one, the hair worked in his favor, I think. Joe says, great practice situation, clock management for Sam Howell. Yeah, Joe, I echo your thoughts on this one. I thought, first, thank you for Mike McDonald there. Let your quarterback go out there and give him this. As I've maintained throughout this broadcast and with how since he's kind of gotten here, the more time we can give this guy, the more action we can give this guy, the more that opportunity then really can come into to bear where he gets better and the improvement happens. That's what he needs. He needs the teaching tape and the stuff that he can go to on it. And if Geno holds up, if this stuff works ideally for this upcoming season, not for the future of the quarterback position or where it's going, but for this upcoming season, he's not going to hopefully get much run out there. And so now is the time for that development to really occur and to really lock in. And I thought that was, to your point, a great situation for him. You've got this much time. You've got 3 timeouts. Where's your decision making going to be at? What are you going to choose to do? The decision to go to Bobo on the in-cutting route, like I told you, it's very generalized, of course, but it's what a quarterback's going to be thinking in that moment. I'm going to get cover 2 to the depths. I'm going to get the corners dropping to depths. And then I'm going to probably be able to hit in-cutting routes or stop routes. Aesop Winston goes to Bobo underneath. That's smart. Using that processing, using your thought process in the quarterback position. And he's doing that in this game. After those first 2 drives, it's really locked in through the rest of those drives in that half of, oh yeah, this is what I need to be doing. And he played really, really, really good ball there in that first half, I thought, overall. And smart in his decision-making, 11 of 14, 153 yards, 1 touchdown, 136 rating. 2 carries, 11 yards on top of that. So it's fine work. Fine work by Sam Howell in that first half. Kenny McIntosh, 7 carries, 46 yards. His long was 12, so he didn't get that 7 carries for 46 yards on a 23-yarder. He was grinding out 7, 8-yard runs every single time, it felt like, just about. Great half from him and how he ran. We'll see if Hololani can match it up maybe in the second half. I'm guessing he's going to get a good amount of carries here as they pivot to him. Receiver-wise, yeah, boy, these guys were on it. 14 targets, 11 catches. Not a lot of drops to be found in there. Kind of your similar suspects on the receiving standpoint that have been good as far as not, frontline guys, being your DK, JSN, Lockett types, Eastop Winston, Cody White, making some good plays in there. Jake Bobo, a catch for 14 yards, kind of just spreading the ball out all over the place. Defensively speaking, John Radigan, Tyrese Knight, your 2 inside linebackers, continue to be impressive in that first half. 10 tackles total between them. They led the way there for your Seattle Seahawks. Derek Hall also notching up the tackle numbers along with a sack and a tackle for loss. So Derek Hall building a little bit on last week's performance, which was good to see. In addition to that, I thought Miles Adams played a really good half there. 3 tackles from the defensive tackle position on his side of it. Kobe Bryant showed up on a couple of routes. He just seems to be right there and close to the ball at all times. I mean, this guy seems like he's going to get you some turnovers over the course of the year if he ends up playing. Don't know what he'll give you on the rest of the play. And he had a nice little, I think, tackle in there too as well in that half. But Mike Morris, defensive line, I thought looked pretty good. Darrell Taylor gave some nice pass rush moves early on, was able to create some pressure on his side of it. But a well-played half by the Hawks. Outside of that offensive drive by the Titans there at the end of the half by Rudolph, you did more of the same of what you had done to the Chargers last week. And still a lot of vanilla fronts from Mike McDonald. I think he only really truly blitzed about 3 or 4 times in that half, bringing that pressure. And you're going to see more of that when we get to the regular season, I believe. George says, Rudolph giving me PTSD. Yeah, that guy that balls out against us. And he had some throws last year where you're shaking your head going, I didn't know that guy had that in his arm. Visible says the TD they gave up as well. I would give a tip of the cap to Mason Rudolph. Dude was getting the ball out insanely fast. I would agree with you on that, Visible. He played good when he walked in there. He was a lot more under control than Malik Willis was. He was, as you say, throwing with some of that anticipation there. The throw to the running back where the back hadn't even turned around and he threw it, and the back turns around and the ball's landing in his chest. This is what you get with a guy that's, been in this league for a good couple of years now, understands the position really well, knows what's required of him, knows what he needs to do. He'll stay within himself. They also ran the ball a little bit better too when he got in there versus when Willis was in there too. Here's the starting line. Still worries me. Pass block still shaky. Still not solid ground, that's for sure. And you're, playing, I don't think you could say you're playing without none of your starters really, maybe with the exception of Bradford at right guard, as you have your backups all in there from the jump today, which is always going to make it look a little dicey too. Kelly says, could Derek Hall play linebacker? Laughing out loud? Maybe a little bit. They do have a little bit of Mafe now, Kelly, in there as that sort of inside linebacker sometimes when he's blitzing from the inside. And you could definitely do a little bit of that with Hall too. If you do it with Mafe, you can do it with Hall. Jarl says, with Williams, Reed, and Murphy all out, no wonder they gash us with the run. No Gotel either with high ankle sprain. No fatties at the moment. Yeah. And you're not going to play Haskins in addition to that, right, Jarl? So, yeah, you're kind of, it is what it is with that. You're just you're running light. You're running the 4-man boxes. You're not stacking the fronts much. You're just going to keep things where they're at. Not trying to push the envelope too much, I guess. Please do hit that like button, folks, if you could for me. Also, we're on the road here to 20,000 subscribers this year. If you're not subbed up already, do please get subbed up. Helps the channel grow tremendously, and I really do appreciate it. Time of possession almost dead even in that first half. The Titans start out with the ball, so I think the Seahawks start out with the ball in the... is that right? Yeah, we didn't... I don't think we started out with the ball. I can't remember. Well, let me go back and check the thing. I guess we did start out with the ball. So we got Seahawks 2 of 5 on third downs, 2 of 6 for Tennessee Titans. Titans 1 of 1 on fourth downs. 200 yards total for the Hawks, 136 yards total for the Titans. No turnovers. No fumbles lost. Visible says, do we really know how well Easton Winstop is on special teams? I don't really want to lose that guy. I think he was pretty well rated by PFF last week. Admittedly, I haven't gone to the depths of like looking through the film necessarily of what went down. Trying to see if he's where he's at on this. I thought he was on here. No, he wasn't one of your highly rated guys last week by PFF on that side of it. I don't think he's bad in that realm. I do think he's probably, at the end of the day, even with having a really good preseason like he did last year, it's just a numbers game. And the numbers game ends up seeing him, unfortunately, probably on the practice squad at this point. Lori, go Hawks. This is when we're going to at least play a couple of starters a little bit. I would estimate, Lori, that your third preseason game, you're going to, I mean, it's not a lot to give you on this one, but you're at least going to see a full series of the starters rolling at that point on both sides of the ball. I don't know if it'll be a lot more than that, but I do think that you're going to at least see that. So it's going to have to be a little bit of a wait, unfortunately, on that, Lori. Sorry. But yeah, you should see those by that point. You're at least going to want to get Geno a little bit of live action before the game, and I would estimate the rest of the guys too. So probably not more than a series, though. This is where the modern game has gone, where they just want to kind of protect these players. You gave them a lot of run in the practices as far as the pads go. You try to get the work in practice in the pads with the players, and then just try to have everybody kind of at full health then by game one at least. As you know, it's just going to be a little bit of an endurance contest on the injury front after that point. You're trying to do all you can to make sure at least day one you can start out with maximum everybody good to go. Garen says, well, the thing with the pass blocking being shaky among backups is smart money would say at least some of them play a handful to a large number of games, particularly if trends continue with that. Indeed. I think that the thing too we got to say with it is that, you know, it wasn't great in that half, but you still have your quarterback in that half throwing for 140 yards. You're still averaging 5.4 yards per carry on the ground. So I don't think that we can look at these backups as saying it's a miserable experience. I think when I point more to the backups on this side of it, from my perspective on this, Kyrian, it's that, yes, you'll have a backup in here or you'll have a backup up there, but when you have backups all in basically across the board, it's, you know, you're going to have, and not only backups all across the board, but in one of the cases of the backups in McClendon Curtis, you have a right guard playing right tackle. You know, he's going back to college and scouting him. He's not a right tackle. He's a right guard. He can play this in a pinch. He can play this because he's going to be needing to do so they can protect their first two starters there at the right tackle position. But that's really going to get him at times looking out of sorts. And you can kind of, I think, explain that then to that. And that's not really then an outgrowth of something that you're going to see come the regular season. There's not going to be, in my opinion, any point where you're going to be rocking McClendon Curtis as a tackle for any games that truly matter or count. And so you're right. You do want to have your backers be solid, but I don't think they've been bad. And there's a couple quarterback hits in here. We got 2 quarterback hits on 14 dropbacks. That's not bad. 2 sacks, 14 dropbacks. I mean, it's not, you'd like it to be better ideally, but it's not atrocious or god awful. Christopher Norman says, from Ontario, New Zealand, Seattle Seahawks fan, #12. Well, I'm sorry, I probably mispronounced the name, so my bad on that one, Christopher. I'm sure I'm not the first. You're from the AO. That's what I'm going to say on that one. But good to have you in here from New Zealand, my man. We got New Zealanders, Australians. We got the Europeans. We got folks from Middle Europe. We got, I don't think we got anybody from Russia in here. I don't think we've ever had anybody from Russia. We got South America, man, we're worldwide here at Hawks Nest. Worldwide as a 12th fan. And welcome on in, man. Good to have you in here. Thank you for watching. If you can, guys, please join. I Can't See. I Can't See was a good human being. They heard my call. They understood my call. And they answered my call. And what they do, they hit that subscribe button. They tippity-tap that subscribe button. They hit that like button. It helps this channel grow. It helps me to be allowed to do what I'm doing here today. And that's to be able to do this play-by-play with you guys. And lets YouTube know that this is a channel worth promoting. And I appreciate you guys. You guys always do that really well. And thank you for that. Just about to kick off the second half here. Nick Craig, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate you for that, Nick. He says, I think we finally have a staff that knows how to use Hall. Also, how about Kenny Mack? Waiting 2 years for that. Yeah, they very happy with what we're seeing from Hall overall in his game and his development. It's so crucial this year to get the edge rotation down. Crucial because then you don't have to get back into that flurry of needing to spin back through looking for edges to get some associated depth with what you have in Mafe and Uchenna Nwosu. And so it's very one of the better parts of this preseason. We've got the kick return here now coming up to the 36-yard line. Do have a flag on the play here from maybe another holding call, as was earlier the case here for the Titans. We kick this off. And Kenny McIntosh has been really impressive, Nick. And it's been throughout this preseason, the two games we've seen him. And what I love about the impressive part of what he's bringing to this holding on the Titans is that he's being impressive in the way of what we saw from him in Georgia, where you watch him and you scout him in Georgia and you say, this should translate to the pro level, at least as a bare minimum level of doing this. And he's doing that. He's showing you that. And it's the running harder than his size, because an NFL evaluator might look at Kenny McIntosh and say, well, he's at this size. That's too small to be a running back in this league. He's too light in the pants to be a running back in this league, but he runs harder than he's size. You know, it's the size of the dog, size of the fight in the dog, not the size of the dog. You know, that whole thing. 1st and 10, under center look here from, I believe, Rudolph. This is going to get quickly swallowed up there. Nice job by Tyrese Knight, filling the hole. He had a little bit of help, but got in there and took the ball carrier down for no gain. Well, that's what you want to see as a start here. Actually, a loss of 1 on the play. Second and 11. Your edges are going to be Sharif and I can't see the other guy who that is on the other side there. Little game run here by the Seahawks and an overthrow on the play by Rudolph. Seahawks ran a little loop there inside, and I think that affected the throw. A little bit of Dirty's influence perhaps on that defensive line, the defensive coordinator for the Seahawks, coming from the Cowboys, who ran stunts and loops and twists like that at the highest rate of anybody in the NFL last year. Derek Hall, Darrell Taylor off either edge here, 3rd and 11. Hall, nice power. Rudolph's going to flip this into the flat, get the completion, and get the first down. Jeez Louise. Seahawks didn't bring a blitz there, just nobody picked up the running back leaking out into the flat. Yeah, it was weird there. Both Tyrese Knight and the cornerback seemed to read it going to the flat initially, and then they just sort of sat down there. Nehemiah Pritchett took a little bit of time to get off his block. 1st down to 10. Still not a lot of blitzing from McDonald here. Still not a lot of stack front stuff from McDonald. He's trying to just see what his edge rushers, I think, can do. Outside run here, outside zone. Brought down quickly for only about a gain of 1 yard there. Like Patrick O'Connell, inside linebacker in, making the play on that. Second down and 9. Son Haskins, the Michigan Wolverine running back. Guy's got some little elements of him, of kind of a little Chris Carson to him a little bit in the game for the Titans. Back in shotgun is Rudolph. He's been calm, cool, and under control here for the Titans. 4-man pass rush. He's flushed from the pocket. Tyrese Knight giving chase will knock him out of bounds after just a short 2-yard gain. Second down and 9. 12:35 to go in the third quarter. Seahawks up 12-7 here. Titans still operating from their side of the football field. McDonald pacing down the sidelines, looking deep into his play call sheet. 3rd and 7. Let's see if he dials up a little bit of pressure here. Nope. 4-man front. Rudolph has got some time back there. Throws it, tries to find the running back again on 3rd down. Kind of tried to go to the same game plan that he just converted that 3rd and long on the prior 3rd down conversion, and this time Seahawks were on it. Looked like Patrick O'Connell in there making the play in coverage on the short little throw. 4th down. Nice job by the defense, bouncing back after that touchdown drive there at the end of the half. Punting from his own 15-yard line. He will send this high. Looks like it kind of got off the edge of his foot a little bit. Fair catch there at about the 22 for Williams, who's done a lot of that today. That's where the Seahawks will take over. And Nick, just again on your thoughts, Kenny McIntosh. This guy's will be the third back on this roster this year. I've said that I think there's a very good chance you're looking at this running back room of the Seahawks 1 through 4 now. I'm not talking 1, 2, and then 3 and 4, nothing. But 1 through 4, you might have as strong a group as the Seahawks have ever had in their history. You can make, I think, a very good argument for that, and you're seeing why I think in this preseason. If Holani can be what I think he probably is, and I really did feel like I knew what we were going to get with McIntosh coming in, because you understood why evaluators overlooked him, Nick. Doesn't have the sand in the pants. Doesn't have the 40 time that we like. So he's not big enough and he's not fast enough. But we can see that that's not really the case with him if that's your assessment of McIntosh and how you look at him as a player. Because he has the burst and he runs stronger than his size. He runs bigger than his size. I can show you guys that are 200 and 225 pounds, but they don't run to their size. You can have all that sand in the pants, but if you don't have the will and tenacity and the heart, it don't mean a whole lot. And he's got that. He runs with that a great amount of heart when he gets out there and grinds out those runs. And he'll give you everything he's got at every run. Never going to go down easy. And it's great to see what he's bringing to play, because if we have a really strong running back room, that just makes the offense that much more dangerous, and a specific type of weapon in what he brings that's different from what you have in other guys on this roster. Marcus B, 28, thank you for the $2 donation. He says, I'm watching from the Dominican Republic. D.O. on vacation. Let's go. Hell yeah. Boy, that's got to be beautiful down there this time of year. Hot. You got to be pretty hot out there, Marcus, no doubt. But thank you for the dono, man. Thanks for watching from the Dominican Republic. We're watching worldwide today here on the Hawks Nest. Let's go. Let's go. Andy Arnold says, is there any meetups for the games for Spokane residents? We could definitely do that. We've got the Discord channel. I've got down the link. But, we can eventually start getting that stuff kind of set up. If it was something that interested folks to do, get folks to have meetup spots there for Hawk games, different locations. That'd be awesome. It's a great idea, Andy. Yeah, nice defensive stop there. Good to see them bounce back. 1st and 10 here. PJ Walker out for the Hawks at quarterback. Start the second half off. Inside carry here to, looks like McIntosh on that play. Not much or anywhere to really go on that one. No gain. $11:39 to go in the third quarter. Shotgun look here for PJ. 4 wide. Late blitz here. Throws it back shoulder. Kind of to no man's land there on the back shoulder throw by PJ. I think he's smart there. He knew he recognized he got one-on-one coverage on the outside. Just the ball placement on the back shoulder didn't really give the receiver a chance to turn back around to make a play on the ball. Third down and 10. 3 wide to the far side of the field. Walker again in shotgun here. Dropping back to throw. Steps into it, lets it rip. Again, a throw far outside, not giving his receiver any kind of chance there on the throw. We do have a flag on the play. 2 very errant throws there by PJ Walker. So 11-12 in the third, 1st and 10, the Titans. Oh, so the holding was on them, so we got the automatic first down. They were unclear on the broadcast there. Ooh, nice stab catch there by McIntosh. A little bit of a tough throw by Walker. He had to reach out one paw and bring that thing in. Got turned into a run really quickly and got a nice gain there on first down. Second and 3. PJ Walker under center. He's checking something at the line of scrimmage. He's got the 5-man front. I saw Hal check this last time to a run. Titans bring down a 6th defender into the box. It's another check into a run. Too predictable, right? Like if I can see it and I can recognize the other team can predict. Like they go the 5-man front. He checked, and then the Titans brought down the 6th defender, but I think the Titans kind of read runoff of that the second that he checked down, especially having practiced against them all week. I'm sure they've seen that a couple times when the Titans have gone to that front. A loss of 4 yards on the play. 3rd and 7. Dang, can we put Geno in, please? I'd love to see it. I think they're definitely only going to do about maybe 1 possession of Geno, if that. Next week is about all you'll probably get of Geno this preseason. 3rd down and 7. Timeout being called by the Seahawks. They didn't like something they were seeing from the Titans front. Matthews is high from the UK. Another fantastic Hawks Nest. Your commitment to our great team is so special and always very much appreciated. Thank you, Matthew. I really do appreciate the kind words. I really appreciate having a great worldwide audience here at the Hawks Nest. To know that it's being watched worldwide, not just in our home little small state, it does warm my heart to know that. I love it. And I thank you, man. It's so easy to do this when you love what you do on it. And I really do truly love what I get to do here. And I thank you guys for allowing me to do it. If you didn't watch, there won't be a lot of reason to do it. You know, I could be talking to the nothingness, but that would be very entertaining. Appreciate you, though. Thank you. Third down and 7. Trips to the far side of the field. Running back goes in motion. Comes back. PJ recognizes something there. Drops back to throw. He's looking. Man, these quarterbacks. Both Hal and Walker sometimes just... It's like they're just completely unaware of the pass rush. He gets taken down for a sack. That internal clock, you hit that back foot, bob. Now you got to go, buddy. You got to get out of the pocket now. Now you got to get out of the pocket. And instead he tries to back his way back out of the pocket and do some late pirouette move there. And now you have to go out the front of the pocket. That internal timer has got to be there to Okay, now, go. And instead he tried to kind of hold in the pocket and think he could take that extra beat there to keep his eyes down the field. Nice punt here by Dixon. Beautiful punt by Dixon. We'll go out about the 11-yard line where the Titans will take over. Oh, it was roughing on the deal? Okay. Sorry. I couldn't tell because I don't have the volume on sometimes, you guys, on the deal, and they're doing this thing on the Titan broadcast where they think the audience really wants to hear from the general manager and what he's going to say to the broadcast who's going to throw softball questions. So they sometimes do that thing where they'll go away from showing the field, and you have to have the volume on to know what's going on. Another case here where they're showing the shot of the announcers and the general manager not showing what's going on in the field, and there's a flag. So I'm not some of these points you don't. Okay, it looks like it's on the Seahawks. And they're going to repunt it. Definitely AC Journey. PJ's your, for sure your third quarterback on the roster. So Dixon put it on the 11-yard line before. They're going to back him up a little bit more here. 5 yards. Let's see if he can do it again. 10 yards, sorry. Titans broadcast is struggling a little bit here right now. $8:48 to go here in the third quarter. Boy, they're taking a long time to get this thing reset. Come on. Here's the punt by Dixon. Drives him back to the 10-yard line. He's got some space to work with. He's going to try to pull this wide out. And he'll be drugged down there at about the 23-yard line. Nice return there, but they'll still be working out from the depths of their own end zone. Not end zone, but their side of the field. Yeah, visible. PJ's not necessarily had the best of preseasons. He's got a couple of big-time third-down throws he's made, but it's been a little bit rough aside from that. I would think a little bit of Grubb, when he gets him in there, is trying to lean a little bit more on his legs. Grubb might do a little bit more of play-action rollouts with PJ and a little bit more of trying to encompass allowing things to be a little more simplified down for him at times rather than just dropping back there and going through reads. Not really, to me, that's not really PJ's game. Or the way you'd use him if you had him playing. Block in the back on that one, Thomas? Usually they catch those too. Those are the blocks that do tend to happen when you see the punt return or reverse field like that, is it tends to lead to the block in the backs. So that kind of also tracks. They might have just missed it. Officials are in preseason too. Special guest Sherman. Oh, I'd love to have Sherman on. G Status ESP, thank you for subscribing to the channel. G Status, I appreciate you doing that. Very kind of you, and folks, do please join G Status if you can, subbing up the channel, liking the channel if you're not already. Helps me out tremendously. I really would appreciate it. Boy, this interview with this general manager is going to go for like the whole quarter, huh? Okay. 8:35 to go here. Handoff inside run will be pretty much stopped up there with very little gain of about a yard or so. I hate these interviews they do with the general manager. Like, it really did. They're so useless. There's no information gleaned. It's just a big like, and you can get tickets now, and if you buy the package for the bob. Like, just get back to the game. 2nd and 8, 7:57 to go. 4-man front from the Seahawks. You've got Sharif on one side and 47. So backups in. They're going to just try to throw this as a little bit of a screen game. Looks like Tyrese Knight was all over that, though. Might have just gotten a second tackle for loss in this game. Knight continuing to play very well here. 7 tackles racked up now. It looks like another tackle loss there. We'll see right on the line there. Rudolph going down to check down City here a little bit too much now. Doing the dice move too much. 3rd down and 13. Patrick O'Connell in the A-gap, 5-man pressure look. They've only brought about 3 or 4 blitzes this whole game, if that. They drop out of it here, then Tyrese Knight comes instead. Blitz is coming, quarterback comes into it. Nice catch there. Very nice throw by Rudolph, standing tall and strong in the pocket there on 3rd and 13. He did not waver for a moment, and the Titans picked up the blitz. They showed O'Connell in the A-gap, dropped out of it. Tyrese Knight came instead, post-snap as the blitzer. And it's Malik Willis back in there now, I guess, not Rudolph. Willis able to deliver a nice throw there. Pressure just couldn't quite get home. 1st down and 10, 6:31 to go. Willis under center. 3 wide receiver look here, or 2 tight end look here. Seahawks counter with a 3-4. Play action pass. Willis coming back around. Doing a nice job there of going through his own progressions there. Completes it for a gain of about 5 or 6. They're still having the conversation in the booth, by the way. You're watching I'm on the NFL Network, so they show the Titans broadcast. And it's just like, they've had this talk for this whole quarter with this guy. Riveting. 2nd and 2. Ooh, they gave him 8 yards. 4-man front from the Seahawks. Pitch play outside to the running back. And he's right on the 1st down marker here. They're going to probably give it to him, though we do have a flag on the play. Haskins with the pitch play there. Personal foul. Clipping, it looks like. And that's going to be on the Titans. Glad the interview is as terrible as it looks. Like, it looks awkward. It looks... We've got ticket packages right now. You can get 3 Titan tickets. You can get 3 Titan tickets for 4. You can get 4 for the price of 5. What would you like? We just want to get you in these seats this year. 2nd and 17. Willis in shotgun, 3 wide. 4 down linemen from the Seahawks. Play action pass. Willis lets it rip. He completes it. Nice throw again by Willis. Catch and brought down to the ground, but not before about a 15-yard gain there. Willis letting it rip here in the second half. Very nice throw in there. Five minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. Jaquan Jackson, the rookie. Three, 4 look from the Seahawks with the 2 tight end countered by the Titans. A lot of men up around the box. The Seahawks anticipating a run. That's what they're going to get, outside zone run. And they swallow that thing up. Hawks felt that thing coming from a mile away. We do have another flag on the play here. This game's gotten a little sloppy and a little slow in the second half. Just kind of a bit herky-jerky. And they are still interviewing the guy in the booth, by the way. Holy hell. He does not have that much to say. This was on the Hawks. This is going to be 1st and 10. Another 2 tight end look from the Titans. Hawks countering it out with the 4-man front. Handoff inside. Nice job there, just bringing the ball carry down for a couple yard gain. Titans kind of trying to attack this 4-man front with the 2 tight end sets here and then just coming downhill. Just trying to throw a lot of beef, it looks like, here at the Hawks. The way that they're pushing and attacking here. .334 to go. Titans on the Seahawks 41-yard line. 2nd down and 9. Play action pass. There's pass rush right there. And he's brought to the ground. Sharif getting back there. Looked like he was unblocked off the edge and he just shot out of a cannon. And it's tough. You leave a defender unblocked and he's got a baseline for the quarterback off play action. You're in trouble as a quarterback. There's not a lot you can do, and that's just what happened there. Nice job by Sharif. Really strong performance last week in a very small sample size of action at the end of the game against the Chargers. Coming back here and bringing a guy in Malik Willis that's not the easiest guy to bring to the ground there. Was able to bring him down. 3rd and 15. 4-man pressure front look here from the Seahawks. Willis dropping back to throw. He's got pressure on the backside. That might have been Sharif again providing the pressure. Willis able to get out of it, flushed, and able to get himself a gain of 8 or 9, but we do have a flag on the play. If I'm the Seahawks here and this is on the Titans, I'm going to probably accept this. You got to figure the Titans are going to probably go for it if you don't. Oh, it's on the Hawks. Holding on their defensive secondary. So, automatic 1st down for the Tennessee Titans. They're still interviewing the guy. Holy hell, it is going to last all quarter. Yeah, the Sharif guy, not bad enough for Brees. Handoff inside, taken down to the ground. Sharif again, and they're making the play on the handoff. Boy, this kid keeps showing up. No gain. Zip, please be nice to my mods. Thank you, Zip. 2nd and 10. Throw underneath is completed. Catch and brought down after a gain of 15 yards. And they might get him for a hit. This might be our first flag for hip tackle on this play against the Hawks. He did kind of bring him down on the side on that one. Tough drive here. The defense has done a pretty good job. They've just been able to have the Titans here to convert some 3rd downs and some penalties and a little bit sloppiness here from the 3rd, 4th stringers in here who are rolling right now. Yeah, Zip, if you want to be disrespectful, there's no place for disrespect in here. So, especially not to my mods. So, you heard me now. 1st and goal handoff outside. It'll be a short gain of about 3 yards. Roland Hood. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, Roland Hood. Appreciate you for doing that. We got 50 seconds, 48 seconds to go here in the third quarter. This is going to be second and goal after a short initial run. Titans are going to come out with a 2 tight end look here. Handoff inside. Seahawks swallow it up there for no gain. Nice job in there. Marquise Blair in helping out to make the play. Nelson Cesar in there as well. AC Journey. Thank you for the $5 donation, AC Journey. I do appreciate that, and it's very kind of you guys. You're tremendous on the donations and support, as always. I'm excited, guys. If we can stay healthy, defense could be scary. And everything in Washington is so much better when the Hawks are winning. Facts. I will agree with you there. Life is always much better in the Seattle area. I can attest to that. It's a little bit like the fever. It's got a fever. The Seahawks fever in Seattle all the time. It's just the way it is when they're good. The city's alive, sparkling like an emerald. That's why they called it Emerald. It's when Seattle was winning, we sparkled. But I agree with the AC. I hope we are going to be good this year too. It's not going to be a lot of pundits or people on the national outlook of things that are going to be looking at us as a team that's going to be good this year. That they're going to say, hey, you guys are going to have to wait out there in Seattle. You're going to have to bide your time out there in Seattle. And I'd wholeheartedly disagree. I don't know if we're going to have to bide our time. I don't know if the way that this team looks is a team that with the talent has and with like how it seems to be coming together as quickly as it's coming together, that's going to be our lot in life for this upcoming season. And so it's going to be a fun year, man. It's going to be a fun year. E36 says, I'm too petty to be a head coach. I'll be putting in our starters and winning this game if I'm McDonald. I might too, especially if it starts getting close. Like, can we get our second rushers in there, right? We can. Yeah. Yeah, and I can attest, Zip Them Lips just went off on his own thing. I was reading the chat, I saw where he was going. He just decided to come in and drop. Yeah, it'll happen occasionally. But that's where if you come in and you act like that, you're going to stand out in a big way. And it's going to be like, who farted? Tammy, I moved to Ohio, but I'm a Hawks fan all the way. Let's go, Tammy. I as well, not necessarily in the local Seattle area, but your heart never leaves once it's from that area. I'm born and raised, and great to hear. That's a nice part, at least with these new apps now and stuff, is that you can kind of see it from anywhere now. It's not as much just, well, you have to be in this given area. Do you buy this package with this thing? But you got to be within their service area to see this. Finally, now we've got everybody able at least to watch these games. Calm Cow says the Hawks Nest apparently Dirty called the first half, and Carl Scott is calling the second half. Shouldn't Mike McDonald get some reps too? Is that normal? It's not super normal. I think it's indicative of the fact that Mike McDonald wants to not have any of these coaches know what he's going to do game one. It's a bit of that. I think I've got a built-in advantage of this being something I can kind of unveil in my play calling, my, the way my repetition goes on calls and setting up and sequencing calls to get things right. So I think he's just trying to be protective of that more than anything else. And he knows how to call a game. He knows what he needs to call. Third down and goal. In play action pass, throw out to the flat here. Seahawks look like they're on it, and they bring him down to the ground. So fourth and goal now. Let's see what the Titans decide to do. They're not necessarily knocking on the door as far as at the 1 or 2 here. It's about the 3.5, 4 yard line. Looks like they're going to take the field goal. Navi says, I'm from Moses Lake. It's a very boring town. Yeah, it's not super exciting out there, that's for sure. Good people out there. Always stop through there when I'm going through the middle of state. Jeffrey Thistle has been celebrating as a Hawks Nest member, 27 long months. Thank you, Jeffrey. Working on 3 years as a Hawks Nest member. Our fifth stringers look rough, but not running our real offense or defense, and all of our players on the sidelines. Put Red-Nosed Reindeer back in. Yeah, it's going to be hard to do too much of assessing into the second half, I think, for the reasons that you mentioned on that, Jeffrey. These are backups in here. These are guys that are barely guys that are going to make the active roster we're talking about here. Guys like, Tai Okada. So, when you're watching those guys get beat or not performing up to snuff, it's hard to draw too much. You'd like to see your depth perform well, and they're not performing bad necessarily, but you're going to get a little bit of the unevenness, a little bit of the sloppiness, a little bit of now going from discipline, looking on it with the first and second stringers to third and fourth guys being kind of touch and go on that side of it. AC says, I'm manifesting a great season right now for our boys, and the holidays are amazing. Go Hawks. Go Hawks, man. I hope you're able to make it be. I'm trying to do the same thing myself. Orchie says, I've been all in on my guy Knight since the draft. I just know that if McDonald chooses him, he's the one. Well said, man. 8 tackles today. One tackle for loss. I think he should have 2. But he's been great today. He was your highest rated defender by PFF last week, and I would hearken to say that he's probably going to be right back up there again this week. Been a Seahawk for years. 63 years, Tammy? 63 years. Let's go. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Working on your 7th decade. From day one, as they say, Tammy. From day one. And Kristen, I probably don't need to see a whole lot more of Tyrese Knight at this point. He's another guy you can kind of maybe bubble wrap even as a rookie. Just a little bit. RJ Calabro's Sports NHL game schedule update. Thank you for subscribing to the channel, RJ. I appreciate you. Related to the Kevin, by any chance, my guy? AC says over under on Murphy 5 sacks. I think he's going to get the opportunity to get 5 sacks. I don't know if he's going to get over it because he's got that whole finishing thing. He might have 15 sacks in his grasp and only ends up bringing down 4 of them sometimes because that finishing part. I'll go over, but just barely over. I think 5.5 sacks. I wouldn't say 8 or 9, but 5.5 year one. Something like that. Yeah, I'd go with that. Navi says JSN's going to have a breakout season. I can feel it. In 27 years as a fan here. Let's go, Navi. And JSN's looked great throughout camp. Another guy that's just stacked day after day after day of real consistent good play. What's up, RJ? Thank you, man, for subbing up. All right, PJ Walker. Looks like we got a false start here on Mabry. Nicholas says, I think Murphy gets to 7. He's got it in him. Got him in him. Happy birthday, Mark, in advance. 1st and 15 for PJ Walker here. He's going to go empty, 3 wide to the far side of the field. 4 down linemen for the Titans. He'll end up in pistol here once the running back comes back into the motion. PJ checking, bringing Aesop Winston into the slot. Moving the back to his side. A lot of moving parts here prior to the snap. Inside handoff to the back. He'll run all it into the hole there and only gain himself about 4 yards. 4 yards, Kobe Lewis. You can always count on Kobe to get you 3. Game says, I wouldn't be shocked if Spoon gets more sacks than Murphy. Laughing out loud. It's possible. Definitely possible. You're going to send him a lot. And he's a good blitzer. 2nd and 11. Oh, yeah, because a 4-yard gain on that because you had the penalty on 1st down. 4 wide. Shotgun look for PJ again. Throwing late. Getting the ball in there late. Nice catch by Mabry there. PJ able to fit the ball into a tight window. Be a nice little gain setting up 3rd down and short. 13:21 to go here in the 4th quarter. Seahawks up 12-10. Nice route there by Mabry. 3rd down and 2. Walker puts Lewis over to the left side of him. Another 4-man look here. Scramble with it. Scramble with it. Use your legs, kid. You got legs, man. Part of what you are as a quarterback is your ability to move. It's third and 2. Use your legs. He's got a couple opportunities there to step up, move up, rotate through, and he's just so dead set on throwing the ball there. Predetermining prior to the snap what he was going to go do with the ball. Jeff says, what are those guys sniffing on the sidelines? Smelling salts. Yeah, smelling salts. It's a bad pass. It's just bad decision making. It's not a good pass. It is a bad pass too, but it's just more of you've 3rd and 2. Use your legs. Step up and go. They're not playing your legs at all right now. We saw Hal use that, do a good job of that, knowing when you can kind of go and get your scram, when not. And PJ on this, I think, is trying to prove a little bit too much, trying to be the passer in there. It's 3rd and 2. Go get the first. Convert. Convert it on through. Yeah, Jason, it's not been a very satisfying 3rd and 4th quarter, to your point on that about the way that this is played. It's gotten very, very slow and just kind of sloppy. This is the 3rd and 4th stringers that you get, and what they bring is a little bit of that sloppiness. And you're definitely offensively with Walker back there, things have kind of grinded to a halt here with him in that backfield here. AC Journey, Reek alone, 5 interceptions. Yeah, I'd put him there. 5 or 6. I think he's got anywhere between 5 to 7 interceptions from Reek. Because he's going to get the man opportunities. He's going to get some chances to take the ball away. And it should make it be a good year for him on that. Joe Smith is not looking to pile on PJ, but man, got to extend the drive. Move the sticks. That's what I'm saying, Joe. And you can see a lack of, if you watch him dropping in the pocket right now, he's not really looking to use his legs at all. I saw last week it kind of being the similar thing. And I get that you want to try to use your arm first and foremost and show that you can get that part of it done. But if we get to the point of going to our 3rd quarterback and Walker's out there on the field and he's got to, let's say, start for a game or 2 because you're waiting for one of your other 2 guys to get back from injury, you better be using your legs. That's a part of what you should be bringing to play. You better end out at the game at like 4 carries for 32 yards or some stuff where you've brought that component to your game. And for moments specifically kind of like that, where the pass rushers are just getting up the field. That's why I said the legs, because you see all those pass rushers were just worried about trying to get upfield. Nobody was mush rushing or trying to just keep PJ up in front of him in the pocket. And so then as a quarterback, that's that click in, go, oh, the pass rusher's running past me. Step up, go past it, go take the couple yards. Yeah, Fabrice, these are the 3rd and 4th team players. So it is sloppy, but it's not sloppy because your team's bad or it's a representation of the team not being ready to roll for game 1 on this. They're just going deep into the depth. And big part of that is the week of hard practices that you've had with the Titans leading up to this game. Jerry says, no, Gino's going to stay healthy. 1st and 10. Another new quarterback out here for the Titans. Is it back to Rudolph? It is back to Rudolph. Nice inside throw there. Looks like it got knocked away. Good coverage there. Lynch, the guy in coverage there for the Seahawks, get out of Baylor. I don't know why these broadcasts are allergic to showing replays. All right, 2nd down and 10. Quick throw, ball knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Miles Adams, is that who was able to do it? Yes, sir. Miles Adams, nice job. Having himself a very good game today. Rudolph doing a lot of quick throw. Oh, no, Mike Morris, sorry. Mike Morris got it. He got a big paw in that thing. 3rd down and 10. 12:39 to go in the 4th quarter. Rudolph and shotgun, 3 wide. Tight end moving out in motion. Off coverage look from the Seahawks here. They've got a blitz look to them, though, and they're going to bring it. Quick throw, quick catch, unable to tackle him. First down. 2 guys whiffed out on the tackle there. Rudolph feeling the blitz and doing what you're supposed to do, throw into the blitz. It's where the hole vacates, and that's what he did. Both defenders there had a chance at tackling, kind of came at that from a weird angle. 12:07 in the fourth quarter. Handoff here to the running back. He tries to gain the edge. Seahawks pursue really well. Blair comes up and puts a nice hit on the back to finish him off. Second and 10. Shotgun look, 3 wide. Rudolph looking around here. Seahawks bringing a blitz again. Quick throw, quick completion. He's got an answer on those blitzes whenever they're doing it. He's seen them come from a mile away, too. Third down and 2. Empty look here for Mason Rudolph. 4-man front from the Seahawks countering it. 5 wide. Looking to throw. Rudolph looking. He's going to scramble around here. We've got a flag down. He's taken down the backfield eventually. We'll see what the flag is on. Hawks have had a couple of third down conversions they've allowed due to these flags, and they're going to do so again with another defensive holding call. Sloppy half on the flag front from the defense here. A lot of room to clean up some things, and you've just given the Titans some first downs this half that you didn't have to give them. Doesn't look like McDonald likes the call. So now, Nehemiah Pritchett, Carlton Johnson are your corners out on the edges here. So again, Nelson Caesar and definitely deep into the depth chart here. Leviston is your other edge. Short little run there and first down for a gain of about 2 or 3 yards. Jeffrey Thistle, thank you for the $5 donation. I like seeing them against the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Close to a legit starter they'll see in the preseason. Sammy Boy getting better rapidly. Great thoughts here. I'll get to it just 1 second here. 2nd and 6. Seahawks bringing a blitz a little bit late. Gets it off there, completed again. Nice throw by Rudolph once again. And I agree with you, man. Rudolph has looked really good. He has been unshakable back there in the pocket. He's standing tall against the blitz. Even there, I think a couple blitzes he's recognized and been able to get out of his hands quick when he sees it coming. And then a few of the other times, he's just made, like there, I think he got surprised by the blitz, but quickly processed and made the right decision up against the blitz. So well done on his part. Looks like DJ James is not having the greatest day in coverage either right now. First down and 10, 8:51 to go in this football game. Handoff inside to the running back. Hoskins was going to gain himself 5 yards here. But yeah, I agree. Rudolph, definitely a different type of quarterback than what you get with Malik Willis and what he brings. And it's a challenge. And it's the kind of challenge you do like against a quarterback that can see some blitzes, see what's coming, be able to adjust to it when they do see it. And he's done that. So gives us a good test here and probably some very good teaching tape, to your point, Jeffrey, from Mike McDonald when they get in the room there on Mondays and look at this thing. And Hal getting better, man. First 2 drives were shaky, but he got himself kind of righted there eventually. Got a false start by the Titans. So take it to 2nd and 10. But he found a way to right the ship. And that was a hell of a 38-second drive that he pulled off there at the end of the half to get down to a field goal. High level of difficulty there. And a great moment where you can see what he can kind of do there when he's just letting it rip and playing confidently and using his brain more than just using the brawn. Thank you, though, Jeffrey. I do appreciate you for all your support. Brother is also a member of the channel. 8:13 to go, 2nd down and 10. The Titans are operating on the 39-yard line in Seahawks territory. Seahawks showing a blitz. They're going to bring the blitz. He's going to try to hit it over the top with a loop, and that's going to be incomplete. Nehemiah Pritchett back there in coverage. Receiver wanted a pass interference call. Kind of looked like the receiver initiated some of that contact. Let's see here. Yeah, so the receiver initiated the contact. That's not on Pritchett. That's good coverage on his part. If the receiver had caught that, you could have made a bit of an argument. He, in fact, sort of extended on that play than Pritchett did as far as the being an offensive PI than a defensive PI. If we really want to split some hairs. 3rd down and 10. Rudolph has been money in this zone of things here throughout this half. 4-man protection front. 4-man look here from the Seahawks. Showing a blitzer. Don't bring it. Pressure on Rudolph. He's going to be brought to the ground. Another flag comes out. Mike Morris brings Rudolph to the ground. Let's see what the flag is. Looks like it's on the Titans. Holding. Titans. That will be not enforced. And so the sack will stand. Nice job by Mike Morris. Just operating from the inside, pushes the guard into the backfield with some of his power and length, and then gets off the block. You feel his length there where this guy's 6'6" and long, and the quarterback's he's engaged on the block, and Rudolph's trying to get away from Morris. But Morris can just kind of stick out that go-go gadget arm and catch the quarterback. And there's not a lot the quarterback can do. And it's part of the nice part of having a guy that's 6'6" with 34-inch long arms that can kind of catch that guy like that. Titans are going to try a long-ass field goal here. Kicker puts his whole soul into it, and he nails it. Wow. What a field goal there by the Titans kicker. He was drilling that thing from the 50-yard line. That had to be almost a 60-yard kick. What are they putting that at? What a kick by the Titans kicker there. Wow. Well, he had a couple extra yards on the end of it, too. 59-yard field goal by Braden Narvison. Nice job on his part. Titans take the lead 12-13. Can we bring Sam Howell back out? I'd like to see some more Howell. I've seen enough Walker. I think I'm good. Just a little bit. The missed PAT here by Jason Myers looming large. Earl J says, if we lose, it's Myers' fault. That's a hell of a field goal, man. You saw it too, man. He gave everything he did in that kick. He was like jumping twice on his foot after the kick. He tried to do it like he had to double curl hop that thing after the kick. He put so much into it. It's impressive. Chase's B tryhards and put Gino in. Well, PJ, you're going to get your chance, man. This has been a brutal half to watch. 2 of 4, 16 yards, 4.0 yard per attempt, 60 rating. I know you're playing with backups, my guy, but come on now. You got 7:53. You can do a nice long, take your time type of drive, no rush. Use your legs this drive. If I'm Grubb talking to Walker here, I'm like, look, I understand you want to be a passer and do that. This is for game though. Game's on the line. Use your legs. Use your legs. Yeah, Kelly Marquise Blair's been kind of quiet, and he's got to be loud, to your point, if he's going to make this roster, because the safety depth is kind of tough right now. Eldo says the Titans are sneaky good, coming from a Titans fan. They might be this year. It's interesting to see with some of the stuff they've done with the roster. Some of it really does depend on the development, to me, of where, of course, Levis is at. And I like Levis. I do, Eldo. It's just about whether or not he can come forward and stay healthy, too. He's got to do that thing where he does protect himself a little bit better. Yeah, I mean, they're showing him at warm-ups, hitting it from 65 out. Impressive. Most impressive. All right, PJ. A tough day can be rightened, corrected. We can balance the bow here on this one right here. PJ starts out from center. Trips. Far side of the field, he's going to check the play. 4 Titans on the line of scrimmage here. Hand off inside to Lewis. Lewis cut down in the backfield quickly by the linebacker for a negative 1 yard gain. Second 11, 7:23 to go. That was James Williams, by the way, Miami Hurricane defender, fun player. Walker, dropping back to throw. He's going to let it loose up over the top. And that ball will be out of bounds there to Aesop Winston. Winston tried to give himself a chance as much as I think he could for what was not the greatest of throws there to try to make the catch. Hopefully we see a review here on this one. Almost got his feet in bounds on the 9 route, the go ball. But just, I don't think Walker gave him quite enough room there on that throw to the out of bounds marker to get his feet in. They're not going to show a replay because why would you, I guess? I'd love to shake the hell out of the producers of these broadcasts sometimes. You know, like how hard is it to show a replay? I'd like to see where the throw was at. 3rd down and 11. Blitz coming from the Titans. Seahawks seem to pick it up. Walker dancing around, throws it a mile out of bounds. Whew! I'm good on Walker, man. I've seen enough of this. I think I've seen my man's thrown about 5 times this half, and 6 times. I think 5 of the throws have been completely garbage throws, just not even in the vicinity of the receiver. He's looking brutal today. I think it's one of the things that pisses me off most when I watch quarterback play, when I watch quarterbacks not give their receivers a chance. A lot of times you can kind of, nice punt here by Dixon, will go in the back of the end zone. A lot of times you can backtrack it to him, just, well, if I throw it a bounce, it's like I gave the guy a chance, but then I didn't get it intercepted, so no, give the guy a chance to make the catch. It's been a tough second half. For as good as the first half was, the second half's been, especially offensively, pretty brutal to watch. The offense has been pretty non-functioning in just about every way in the second half. Kobe Lewis has got 3 carries for negative 1 yard. You've not gone back really to Hololani at all, so they're going to let Lewis get a lot of run, I guess. And it's been pretty uninspiring, the offense in the second half overall, I would say. Yeah, if you're playing Walker and you're playing with 4 stringers, you go, okay, well, the pass protection didn't hold up. Not your fault. Oh, you're throwing to a 4-string receiver who didn't catch the ball. Not your fault. There's things you go to and you point to that you go, well, this is a good explanation for you not playing as well for your time there on the field when you were out there. But I don't think you can apply those excuses to PJ here for his performance in the second half. He's not giving his receivers a chance over and over again. Throws a back shoulder fade 10 yards out of bounds. You're 3rd and 11. Put a throw out there that can get to somewhere, or then try to use your legs. Like I said in the last drive, try to at least use your legs a little bit. Think about it a little bit. But you guys saw there on that drive again, where the guy that's supposed to be somewhat hyper mobile, he doesn't even think to try to use his legs. You got to know what you are. You got to know, the horse that brought you in on it, right on that same horse. No, it's not a big deal too. But it's just an evaluation of Walker and what we're seeing from him. I don't think it can be just merely explained to just backups he's playing with. I don't think he's playing well either. Williams says, practice. We're talking about practice. All right, 1st and 10 for the Titans. Malik Willis is going to be back out there as they flip and flop between their backup and third stringer, I guess, to see who's going to take over that role. Handoff inside here to the running back. He's jump cutting his way around for about 4 or 5 yards is Haskins. Nice little run on his part. Ocean, I think people think Powell looked pretty good. Second and 6 here, 6:22 to go in the football game. Titans on the 24-yard line. Seahawks in their own territory. We got a 3 tight end look here from the Titans. Handoff inside. Bounces it outside to Haskins. Nice run on his part. He's going to gain about 15 yards here. Titans just went super heavy there. Super heavy jumbo. We do have a flag on the play. Right, Devondre Sweat's a big boy. Show him on sidelines. He's all of 370 pounds. 2nd and 16. Titans in shotgun, 3 wide receiver look. Seahawks showing 5-man pressure look with a little blitz. Drop out of it to the 4-man pressure look. Throw over the middle. Open and caught. First down, 12 yards. $5:30 to go. Monsoon, yeah, Marquise Blair was with us one time before. This is his second stop with the team. Spencer B., thank you for subscribing to the channel, Spencer. I really appreciate you for joining up on the Hawks Nest. Please do join Spencer if you're not already subbed up to the channel. 5-man pressure look here again for the Hawks. Another handoff inside, stuffed up by Miles Adams, who's having a very good game, doing everything he can this game to try to make the roster. Got to be about his 4th tackle of the game. Good job being stout there at the point of attack and finding the ball carrier at the same time. Well done. 2nd and 10. 4:43 to go here in the 4th. Two tight end look from the Titans again. Hawks counter it with a 5-man box down there, 5-man on the line of scrimmage. Handoff outside. Ball carrier takes it, brought down. Good gain there, 4 or 5 on the play though. Big on big. In space, yeah, there is one more preseason game. I'd expect too much of PJ given where he's on depth chart. HawksNest. No, I wouldn't either. I'm not super worried about it. I've had people make the case to me recently, though, that he's in line or in the same place where Hal is as QB in. No, he's not. They're definitely two different players on that side. Clock continues to burn and roll here as the Hawks try to give their offense another chance here. 3rd down and 6. 4-man look here on the protection front. Seahawks running a little loop game with their 4-man. A lot of time in the pocket. We got a flag, though. Ball's going to be intercepted by Okada on a tip ball. He will be unable to bring it back any. We'll see where the flag is on this play, but looks like an interception by the Seahawks defense. Okada's got blood all over him. It always looks badass when you got an interception. You got like old blood all over your jersey. That's a football player there. Hands to the face on the Titans. The penalty will not stand. It will be declined, of course, and the Hawks will take back over after the interception. And P.J. Walker is going to get himself another chance. So the defense did what they could here. They did what they could here to make this stand. Offense has 2 timeouts, 3:29. All you need is a field goal. What you got, PJ? What you got? Phase Watt win. Thank you, Phase Watt, for also subscribing up to the channel. Do please join Spencer, Phase Watt. If you're not already, sub on up now. Come on, join on up here. You know it helps us content creators out hugely when you do that. Really appreciated. And thank you so much, Phase Watt. You got the dub today, Phase. You got the dub today. Green TVs. Mason Rudolph, I think, has been the most impressive quarterback today to my eyes. I don't think Malik Willis has played bad necessarily. 12 of 16, 116 yards, 1 interception. I don't think he's been awful. But Rudolph, I thought, was very impressive, especially watching how Rudolph dealt with the blitz, especially watching how Rudolph threw with anticipation in this game. So he may be solidifying himself as that number 2. I think he played well for you guys last week in addition to that. He looks on his game. Terry Baker, you might have spoke too soon, man. Might have spoke too soon. Terry says, dang, always tight and mess up at the end. Let's go, Terry. Hey, we still have PJ Walker out there, so it's use your legs, PJ. If I'm Grubb, get him a rollout on 1st down. Give me play action rollout. Make it look like everything like a run. Roll him back out into space. Flip it out to the tight end on a little throw to the flat. Ran the cut with a $2 donation. He says interception. I told you. You told me, man. You spoke it into reality, bro. You spoke it into being. You made it happen. Kelly says nice pumpkin plushie in the back. Thank you, Kelly. You can't tell though. She's got Seahawks sunglasses on too, and with the little plushie thing there. I got that at training camp. They were giving them out. Watching over things over there. He did it. Roll out. They did it. They did what I just said. I said roll out, play action, pass, roll out, throw to the tight end. They just threw it to Brady Russell. Grubb just did what I said. He just did what I said. I am a psychic. Seahawks take over, handoff inside. Gain of only 1 there on the carry. I can't believe they did what I said. I called it. That's badass. That's smart. See, this is why we got Grubb as our offensive coordinator. Okay? Smart man. Smart recognizes smart. I knew he was going to come back to it. Give him the play action. Give him the easy read on the outside. Don't have him process there. Boom. 10-yard pass. 2nd down 10 after the run. 3 wide to the far side of the field. Aesop goes in motion prior to snap. Play action. Throw out to Aesop. Another quick, easy throw off of play action. There we go. See, Grubb, let's make it simpler on him a bit here. Less of sitting back there and asking him to process. Just let him read option, quick throw to the flat. Earl says, Grubb listening to you. That was awesome, man. He did exactly what I said. I freaking love that. I love this offensive coordinator. This is my offensive coordinator. Third down and 1. Seahawks are in field goal range. I wonder if this might be a 3-down territory situation, though, if you don't get it. Oh, and they're not going to get it. Penetration in the backfield by the Titans. And they sew that thing up. Nowhere to go for Lewis. There's been no holes for the ground game in the second half with the backups in. And there was indeed not there. You had early penetration there right from the start off that left side. And boom, boom, boom. It's like Seahawks, somebody's going to call a timeout here to figure out the lay of the land on this one. Spaces OS, Myers warming up. He's been good on field goals so far in preseason. It's the PATs that have been dodgy for him a bit. The Real Cheese. Thank you for the $5 donation, Real Cheese. He says, so Jarek Reed, does he go to the practice squad when he gets back, or does he get his spot on special teams and maybe more? Some of it depends a little bit, Real Cheese, on the intention of the coaching staff as far as the number of games on the roster, because you really are going to have a flux between safety to cornerback. Do you hold 6 corners and then 4 safeties, or do you hold 5 safeties and 5 cornerbacks? I would estimate that they're going to try to probably go more 6 corners, though maybe it may not even be only 5 and 4 the way it shakes out. My point being is you're not going to have 5 safeties, so Love and Rashawn Jenkins are set. I think that Kobe Bryant has probably done enough at this point that he's going to make the roster, so it comes down to the 4th guy. Kayvon Wallace has looked pretty good in this training camp. Marquise Blair's been all right. I think Jarek Reed's going to have an uphill battle to finding his way into being on the active roster. He could get snuck into the practice squad, though, I think no problem. You do bring up an interesting part about the special teams component, and that maybe he's much better as a special teams player than maybe a Kayvon Wallace or Kobe Bryant. But I think those guys are maybe better at playing the safety position per se than where he is. Also, we're not really sure on Real Cheese where his health is at necessarily. He's still not, I don't believe, activated off the PUP quite yet. So when that happens and how long that'll take is another part of the process. But when it's all shakes out, I think Jarek Reed ends up on the practice squad. Thank you for the $5 donation. AC says, why don't we kick a field goal here, take the lead, and play defense? They may. That's probably why there was I don't know if they were the ones who called the timeout or not. No, that was the 2-minute warning. That's what happened. So yeah, the 2-minute warning, you get some time to think this over if you're McDonald and company here now and kind of turn that over. I think the theory being here is if you go for it, you get the first down, you can bring the clock down to nothing, and then you can kick the field goal then at that point and give the Titans no chance and no opportunity. I kind of like that thought process here. And I think if you're looking at the analytics and what they tell you to do, they would tell you to go for it here rather than try the longer kick. But I can understand going both directions with it. All right. Oh, all right, here we go. Looks like they're going to try the field goal. Myers is setting up about a 50, 55-yarder or so. No easy kick. The hold is down. The kick is up. It gets in. He squeezed that upright like he was trying to get the football to hug it. But he got that thing just inside the lip. And Seahawks will take the lead 15-13. It's a kicker's day here. So Myers, 3 made kicks today. Did miss the PAT. Yes. That might still end up coming back and biting us on the butt here. but does make the kick there. Nicely done on his part. And we'll see if the fourth string defense can make it stand. Jeffrey, thank you for the $2 donation. Says, pay attention to how we manage the clock here. Yeah. I think they just kind of just take the points and we'll see if we can trust our D. I could have seen how they'd done, your perspective, if they'd done that and gone for the first, where you manage it in within it in that way, and very careful in your approach with that point. Again, trying to grind that clock down to where then when you take the field goal attempt, it's game or nothing at that point. There is no chance. Terry Baker, man, the predictions are being brutal on you right now. Nice deep kick here by Jason Myers. And be honest with you, like what Jason just did there and kicking in the back of the end zone, like you get the regular season through, especially the first 4 or 5 weeks, I wouldn't be the least bit upset if that's what we chose to do on those kind of plays. Just force the team to take it out at the 25. All righty. Rudolph comes back out. He's been a bit of a thorn in the Seahawks side from the quarterback position, both this year and last year with the Steelers. 1st and 10. Sharif, Nelson, Cesar on the outside for your quarterback, off the edge here for your Seahawks. Quick throw deep down the field here. Nice throw. Good coverage by Williams down there, able to knock the ball away. He was planted in nice. Really no separation there on the 9 route. And able to knock the ball in with some light hands there. Never really turned around and looked for the ball. Tiny bit of contact before it got there, but probably not enough to ever get really the call there in that moment. 2nd down and 10. You are to the deep side of your corner room, though, here, in your safety room. There's no doubt about that here. I know the Titans are too, but 2nd and 10, Seahawks showing 2 men up around the line of scrimmage prior to the snap. 6-man, they bring the 5. Loop a rusher around with Mike Morris. It's picked up by the Titans. He hits the tight end on a crossing route who takes up the field for a big 15-yard gain. .143 on the clock. First and 10, right around the midfield stripe at the 48-yard line in the Titans' own territory. 4-man front here from the Seahawks. Quick throw out into space. Nice job on tackling there by O'Connell. Looked like he was going to lose that guy for a moment, but he was able to bring him down to the ground. Clock continues to roll, 1:31 to go in the 4th quarter. Rudolph directing traffic, trying to get everybody set up here and get the ball snapped quickly. Seahawks show a blitz. They bring it with the 5-man. Rudolph will run up through the middle, and he's got a wide old lane right through there at that point. 1st and 10. Late flag comes in 10 minutes after the play finishes. Boy, that official took a long period of time to decide he wanted to throw that flag there. I don't like it when the flag comes in that late. If you have to think about it that much, it's not a flag. Oh, is it that they threw the ball at him? Is that what they're doing? Is he tossed the ball at him there? Mason Rudolph's a dick. That's the same guy that, like, he's got that quotient to him. Is that what they're going to call him, as taunting? I can't tell. That broadcast can suck it with that. Oh, I guess they're calling it on us for the slide. Jeez. 1st and 10. Pressure. Quick throw, quick catch. Brought down to the ground by Easton Gibbs. A lot of holes right now in the Seahawks zone defense here, especially in the middle of the field. And Rudolph has been able to attack it every time he's been in the game. He definitely has a really good understanding of what he wants to do against this defense today. .107 to go. Titans have gotten right up the football field here. They haven't even had to use a timeout. And about every play, it feels like they're getting about 15 yards. First and 10. On the Seahawks 26-yard line. I'd estimate here that they're going to probably just try to run this ball and get it close and call it a day now. False start. It's been a slow trickling game in the second half. There's just no rhythm to the second half at all. It's just been it's the out of sorts kind of stuff you get in preseason. This is your typically ugly, just kind of messy, everything just kind of rough around the edges of a football game kind of game here. First down and 15 from the 31-yard line, Seahawks territory. Hawks showing a stacked box here. Press coverage to this top side. They're going to try to hand this off, and the carry will be a good 3 or 4 yard gain there. A lot of flags in this game, a lot of sloppiness. Seahawks here have got seven penalties for 38 yards. Titans have been 10 for 90. Hasn't been really tight on that angle of things. One minute to go. Seahawks called their final timeout. McDonald on the sideline trying to get everybody in on the right details here. Another stacked box by the Seahawks, anticipating a run. Cut down in the backfield by Marquise Blair. Nicely done by him there. Be a loss of 1 or 2 on the play. Shot the gap, got in the backfield there. Nice job on his part to anticipate that. Clock will roll down here. Titans will probably try to get another run or two. Yeah, get one more run here and see if they can get a little bit closer. Titans kicker already almost has damn near a 60-yarder on the books today. Jason says, I hope this is just vanilla defense. This reminds me a lot of the last couple of years. I think it is a lot of vanilla defense. I don't think they're doing a lot of, as somebody was saying earlier, Jason, maybe they were having somebody else call the game on the back end here. Dirty called in the first half. Carl Scott called in the second half. I think that there's something to be said that very well may be the possibility here. Titans do run it on 3rd and 12. Don't get any yardage on the play. So this will be, it'll be about a 47, 48 yarder somewhere in that neighborhood here, I think, for the kicker. He's definitely got the leg to do it. And yeah, Jarred, the Jason Myers miss. He hits 3 other field goals, but then does miss that extra PAT, and he missed one last week too. We want good Jason Myers this year. It all comes down to this in the preseason game. Seahawks up 15-13, 3 seconds to go. 4th and 12 for the Titans. 3 seconds here. One play. Field goal kicker for the Titans is going to come out onto the football field here to try himself a healthy distance kick. He's got the leg. Let's see how this goes. Snap is down. Hold is up, and the kick is through. The Titans will carry this game for the win. And they will win it 15-16. And the Seahawks, not your atypical score that you'll normally see in these kind of football games, but they win it 15-16 on a game that was a pretty normal game, I think, to what you see for preseason when you get into 3rd and 4th stringers where things get sloppy, details get lost. You see holes that aren't typically there where the starters are out there. And you definitely felt like I think, kind of saw this into the second half today. But there's some good things to build upon in this performance as well. Good things to feel about from this game as well, especially into that first half, especially in regards to Sam Howell's performance, the way the defense played in the first half when there were more of, I think, some of their 2nd, 3rd stringers out there more than there was more of the pure 4th, 5th stringer guys that were out there here as we got into the later portions of this football game. But decently played game overall at the end of the day. Like I said, some good to take, some bad to take away from it. Hopefully Jason Myers is going to be in for a good year this year and not a bad year, as that is going to be a concern here because he is such an up and down kind of kicker in his approach to things, and it's just wild with him. He's just no middle ground. Now, he did hit 3 legitimate field goals too in this game too, so he wasn't just all bad. It was one PAT you missed, but that PAT, of course, is the difference between you being able to have this game tied at the end versus losing the game, and you don't want to see that happen, come the regular season. But good play out here. Sam Howell, really good. Kenny McIntosh, awesome in how he played. Aesop Winston Jr., Cody White, Laviska Shenault, Jake Bobo. Your receivers held the line, I thought, and played really well in this game for what you asked them to do. You didn't throw a lot. I mean, you threw the ball 22 times in this game. You just didn't have the ball a whole hell of a lot of the time. Some of that's indicative by just how much your defense allowed today. I think a lot more of the third down conversions that were missing from last week. You had 5 of 15, last week 2 of 12. So it wasn't great, the Titans on third down conversions today, but they were able to have a little bit more success, able to move the ball a little bit more easier. And still a good game overall. Not a bad game, not a horrible game, and it's preseason. There's not going to be a lot we're going to take away from this. We're not going to know about who and what this team really is until we get to, until we get to the actual true games, and they're really playing. Defensively, I thought Tyrese Knight really played well today. I thought he was good. 8 tackles, 1 tackle for loss. I thought he really showed up. Radigan, I thought, played pretty good. All the linebacker, but O'Connell was in there doing his thing out there. Miles Adams from the inside, I thought, played a really good game. Mike Morris had himself a sack, 2 quarterback hits, 3 tackles, filling up the stat column on his own on that side of it. He played really well in addition to that. So, strong overall game from the team here today. Let's see where you guys are kind of at on your thoughts. Steve Smith says, why would we even want a preseason game to go into OT? We probably wouldn't. I'm okay with an ending. I think preseason games, if they end up tied, should just end up tied. I don't think there has to be a winner in preseason. I know that's not the case. I wish they would do it that way, though. Richie says, not a bad game. Happy with Howell after the first 2 drives. Me too. He settled in there, and he looked a whole lot better after those first 2 drives. Whole lot. X-Strike says, thanks for the commentary. Excited for this season when our starting players and coaches are in play. Me too, X-Strike. Thank you very much for watching today. I really do appreciate that. You guys could for me to please hit that like button. It does help out the channel tremendously. I think preseason games do technically go into OT. I do. I can't remember on that for sure, though, Megan. It's been a while since we ran into that situation. AC Journey says, thank you for hosting, boss. I'll be here all year. So every game of the Seahawks this season, please do come back in and join me in here as I will be doing the play-by-play throughout the course of this season. I love doing it. Jeff says, take heart, Hawkers. The Titans mixed in some better players towards the end. It looked like to me it was late in the preseason game before they lost the lead. Yeah, great. I don't think there's a lot to take away. This isn't going to be anything that's a bad situation for your Hawks or something that we can have as any kind of takeaway on that side. I'd 100% agree with that. And Rudolph's a really good quarterback. If you're looking at this as kind of a baseline, it's, Rudolph better quarterback than PJ Walker. You probably could say that. And he was just in control, and he really made some good decisions, I thought, in that second half to help them, the Titans. And that was as much, I think, the difference as anything else. Richie says the Tyrese Knight pick looks like a smart pick. It really does. I would not be surprised looking at PFF grades from last week, for instance. I'll show them to you guys right here really quick because I still have them in hand. But when you look through the PFF grades last week with your defense, Tyrese Knight was your highest graded defender by PFF at 89.9. That's an elite grade that they gave him in last week's game. And he played 30 snaps. So one of those defenders that played as many snaps as anybody last week. And he was awesome. And I thought he, if not matched that performance, was even better in his performance here today. So he might very well end up being your highest rated defender coming out of this game too, back-to-back weeks. And when you're talking about a guy starting his first 2 games up at that spot, I know PFF's taken with a grain of salt by many, but it's still very impressive starting performance for a kid that was a 4th-round pick that we weren't expecting a lot out of this year, Richie. Yeah, well spotted on your part. Well spotted. Tammy says, I want to say good night and thank you again. Come in the chat. Thank you, Tammy. Have yourself a great night out there. Just Steph says that was the Titans Super Bowl. Kind of, probably, yeah. A little bit. Seahawks game in this game just proves how bad our defense was last year. PJ Walker and the Browns dropped 30 on us. Walker is definitely a practice squad quarterback. Amen. That's a great takeaway, Seahawks Gaming. Yeah, this is a PJ Walker guy that we made to look functional last year in that game against us at home, in our home, in Seattle. Yeah, I agree with you there. Blood Grimoire says Tyrese Knight has pigskin radar. I like that. Yeah. Richie says coaches should have a better understanding of who to keep and who to cut after this game. I would think so. There's a lot of stuff I think to evaluate off of to go, okay, we've seen enough here, we've seen enough there. I'm on both ends of the scale. Kevin O'Connell says, Pete Carroll watching, thinking great defensive game. Yeah, probably. This is a big game I'm sure Carroll would love. Old school football is probably what he'd call it. Robbie Red, there was a preseason game last year that ended in a tie, but they did not go into OT. Good. That's how they should do that. Should not be in the OT don't make any sense to do that type of stuff, right? No OT. Promise has been a member of the Hawks Nest for 9 long months. Thank you for that. Promise says 100%. Thank you for that. In agreement with me. Appreciate you for that. Brian Berry says, why is McClendon Curtis still getting so many snaps? He seems awful. So what the Hawks have done is their plan here, Brian Berry, is I think they're trying to take Charles Cross, Charles Cross, Abraham Lucas, and George Fant, and they're trying to kind of keep them in that protective positioning here throughout the preseason. They want those guys for the regular year. That's regular season. That's when it's most important. And hold on one sec. I gotta get some water here. And so I think what they're trying to do there is get him some snaps. Not get him some snaps, but they're protecting those guys first, Brian. So what they're then doing is they're saying, okay, we're holding 3 of our guys out right now off of our tackle group. 2 of those guys are going to be our starting 2 tackles this year. That's going to be our 1, and that's going to be our number 2. And so you don't really have on your roster a number 3 as far as tackles go then. And what they've done is looked at it as, well, what we'll creatively do then is we'll bump McClendon Curtis, who's a guard, out to tackle because he can hold the line in doing that. But there's no intention long-term of either having McClendon Curtis out there playing tackle or that being his future or him to be starting out there. They're just getting by at the position, but they're getting by to protect those other players. That's the reasoning behind it. Jack Maloney says, didn't that Rudolph guy smack someone with his helmet? He caused someone to smack him with his helmet. So he caused Myles Garrett to hit him with his helmet, I believe. Wasn't that how it went? Or was it that he hit? I forget how it went. If he hit or Garrett. I want to say Garrett hit him. But you can see with Marquise Blair, like he went down on a late slide and he threw the ball at Marquise Blair. I've heard he's got kind of a potentially kind of a dickish nature on the football field. Wash Visquest says, I can't stand Mason Rudolph. Where's Myles Garrett when you need him? There we go. Thomas, not happy with both the offense and defense. Mac needs to lay the hammer down. Definitely going to be some corrective spots to point to on the tape. I think that being so deep into your backups, though, it's going to be hard because a lot of these guys, I think the hammer comes down on just getting cut. Definitely would like to see better effort next week on those 3rd and 4th stringers, though, that are trying to make the roster, that are trying to get themselves some positioning on the practice squad, if just that. Paul says Myers is 0-2 on extra points this season. So far, yeah. He's made all of his kicks, 4 for 4 on kicks, but come on, man. Got to hit those extra points. Kai Leve says, do you think DJ James is going to make the roster after this game? I'm starting to believe it's a little bit more of an uphill battle for him. I don't know if he's flashed quite enough here so far in preseason, and I think it's been a fairly quiet training camp overall, but I think the team's going to try to hold on to him, but it'll be as much about his developmental angle as much as that he's been balling out and playing so well. We're going to try to see if we can develop this with this kid and get it onto that function of it. But I don't know if it's based on that he's looked so great here in preseason if they did. Brian Berry, do we think Ty Akata and Marquise Blair could make the team practice squad? I don't think Ty Akata makes either the team or the practice squad. I do think that there's a good chance that Marquise Blair could be put onto the practice squad. In regards to Jason Myers, Paul, again, go back if you need to on this one, Paul. Go look it over the cap and go take a look at the Jason Myers contract and how it's structured. You're not the only one on this, Paul, that's very frustrated by this. There's numerous Seahawks fans that have voiced to me over the past 2 years here, God, we got to get Jason Myers out of town. How do we go draft a kicker? I don't want this guy in town. And I understand all of your guys' frustration out there. I feel the frustration, and I wish I could give you an answer as to there's a viable way to get off of him. But unfortunately, it doesn't do us any good really with the Jason Myers stuff to turn our hands over this too much, because he's going to be here for the next year. They gave him a big-time contract a couple of years ago. They decided to reward him and make him the second highest-paid kicker in the NFL, and they pushed the money out in doing so. And by pushing the money out and doing so on Jason Myers' contract means you can't cut the guy and save money right now. It means that you have to eat dead money to cut Jason Myers. And the team is not going to do that at this point. So I do get the frustrations there, but there's really nowhere to go on this stuff with the Jason Myers talk stuff. Like, we can go down that lens. If you guys really want to go down the rabbit hole of talking about Myers for the sake of talking about it, we can. But we can't do anything about the guy for another year. I've looked deep into this. I've been looking at it for 2 years. I've been looking at it for 2 years because so many of the people in my chat mention so often about the fact that they don't want him here and how the hell do we get off of him. So you're not going to see a team right now that doesn't have a lot of cap space for next offseason, is not sitting on a lot of cap space right now, that they're not going to spend money to get rid of Jason Myers. They're not going to eat extra money more than they'd be paying Jason Myers right now for the upcoming season to get rid of him. So I know that this, I'm trying to get ahead of this by mentioning this to you guys in the chat, as I know that this is going to be something spammed into my chat throughout tonight. Like, it's not going to do any good on this. You got to go look at the numbers. In football, it's not just, I want the guy cut, so let's cut him. It's, can we cut him and save money? Can we cut him and it's in the best interest of the team? These are the questions at the forefront that you have to ask yourself on players before we get to the point of just cut him. We'll get rid of him. Let's go get another guy. There's also not a whole hell of a lot of really good kickers out there on the open market at this point in time of the process. So he's stuck. We're stuck. He's here. He either is going to get better or he's not. It's either going to be a crap year with him or it's going to be a good year, but we can't get off of him. There's no moving him. There's no going anywhere with him. And I know he's probably one of those players that gets as much consternation here among Seahawks fans as just about any guy in this roster, as far as the amount of people that just do not want to see him here. But John Schneider really likes him. John rewarded him with a huge deal a couple of years ago. God knows why. And that's left us stuck. We stuck, man. Seahawks Gaming, hopefully Mike Morris makes the roster. If we have him over Miles Adams, we know what Miles Adams is, but not Mike Morris. I think Mike Morris probably would if it came down to between those two players. He's the guy that probably does make the roster. He also affords you a little bit more flexibility, I think, than what you can get from Miles Adams, in that he can play both inside and he can play outside. Can't cut Jason Myers. Again, I see in multiple chats putting it in it. Like, you guys can say it. You can say it a million trillion different times, but that's not, football doesn't work in the way of, we have $4 million of cap space left. We have a kicker who we're going to be on the hook for paying $5 million right now, but if we release him, we're on the hook for $6.5 million on this year's contract. So we're going to release him. We're going to eat the extra $1.5 million on that kicker, still spend every last dollar we're going to spend on him, eat an extra $1.5 million, and then have to go spend $2 million extra then to go find a kicker on the street. The team's not going to do that. I understand why you guys mention it. I totally get it. Your frustration. I feel your frustration. I feel it. It's clear. I see it in the chat often, but it ain't going nowhere. It ain't moving anywhere. Y'all, and how am I feeling about the rookies out of Auburn? I think the Nehemiah Pritchett's looked pretty good. I think both of them have had some issues in tackling still. I think DJ James looked a little bit lost in coverage today. He was good in coverage last game. So this is just kind of a one-off from today, but last game he was good. Today I just don't think it was the same thing. Here's the numbers on the last game and what he posted. So 29 snaps last game. He forced one incompletion, 5 yards allowed on one catch, 56.3 passer rating. That was good. But both of them have issues in tackling, and DJ had a down day today in coverage. And so they're both yawling right now, kind of fighting it out to try to keep their footing on this roster, I think. Good game, Titan. South says, good game, bro. Tighten up to y'all in the regular season. Good game, man. Well played game. Glad we could get a great week of practice in addition to this Titan South, where it sounds like neither team got into fights. Both teams stayed committed to just getting better and using that practice time to get the most out of it. And that's really what we wanted to see going into that, which is good as well to see. Catalyst says, Hal looked good. Had we kept playing him, we probably win. Yeah, I think we probably would have. Walker looked really lost when we put him out there in that second half. Brian says, yeah, Rabel and Wyman are down on DJ James. I think DJ James had a really rough game out there today. Yeah, he did. And didn't necessarily play a lot from the start either. So tough game for him. Brian Barry says, people saying Cut Myers are the same ones saying Geno's contract is a bad value. Redeem Patriots, will Geno play a couple of series next week? I'd estimate you're probably going to get one series of him going. I really would like to see a bit more of Howell, to be honest with you. And I'm kind of disappointed in this game that we didn't get more of Howell into the third quarter because he needs the development. It would have been nice to see him be able to come back off of halftime, off of the way he was building up in that game. And going back to PJ Walker, to me, is just why. I don't know unless they were maybe worried about pass protection or something back there with Howell if he was back there instead. But would sure like to see a lot of Howell next week in addition. I don't think anybody's panicking in here. Power Code says, don't take away too much from this game, apart from Tyrese Knight and Derek Hall being ballers, and most importantly, little to no apparent injuries. Messy coverage on the back end by DJ James, though. Yeah, a little bit messy with him. And yep, two guys that stood out in this game, Hall, Tyrese Knight, played really well. Hall getting just a little bit of run, but did the most with it for the most part. Let's go Josh Brown. Yallen says Miles Adams and Mike Morris, only two players to play all of the game. They played well too. They made the most of it. Morris is really impressive because he's a real inside-outside guy. They're very comfortable in doing both those two roles. Sometimes you get that guy as a tweener and he can do both roles but not do either role very well. And he seems like he's a problem both inside and out. Both the guards and the tackles he's just so long and big. CJ, Bray Brandon, what are your thoughts on teams having joint practices, and would you rather do without them? I personally would rather not have them. I go in the different direction on this, CJ, myself. The thing that I note over the last 10 years is you've had two CBA negotiations between owners and players, and over those two negotiations, CJ, both times, the players pushed for less practice time, less padded practices, no more two-a-days. So what they've done, the players, by and large, is that they have taken strong steps to remove the ability of teams to prepare the players for game day, to prepare their bodies for game day. I think this is one of the major reasons that you see injuries skyrocketing through the NFL over the last 10 years. Coaches, training staff cannot properly prepare these bodies with the limited time that they have to get them prepared for this very violent sport. And so you've got to find creative ways to do better at getting them prepared. And I think, unfortunately, that's got to come from padded practices between teams where you can actually amp up the intensity level in a way to replicate game-like scenarios. And so I would not like to ideally have to do them, CJ, but if you're going to remove all those padded practices, if you're going to remove all those two-a-days, I think you kind of have to do it at this point to callous up the team in the proper way to prepare them for game days. And I think that if you look back, CJ, at recent Seahawks teams, and you go, what's some of the problematic spots of recent Seahawks teams? Lack of physicality. Lack of that maybe callus being built up properly. Maybe they didn't do enough intensity with that. And so I'm very much at this point in favor of it. Some of the elite teams out there do it, that are good teams year in and year out, have been doing these inter-practice squad games. It'd be nice to avoid them, but players have kind of forced the hand on this with the CBA and drawing back the practice time as much as they have. Brian Berry says, Aesop Winston on the active roster week 1. I do not believe so, Brian. You can make an argument he certainly has earned a practice roster spot here and what he's done. Not only having a good preseason this year, but a good preseason last year and doing everything that could be asked of him to be considered in that spot. The problem comes down to the numbers game here. DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, JSN, Bobo, Eskridge. Those 5 guys are locked in on this roster. So the Seahawks maybe keep a 6 wide receiver. Maybe. I would reckon to guess, though, the Seahawks are more likely to keep just 5 wide receivers, which would put Aesop to the practice squad. But I would expect Aesop to go to the practice squad, that they do still keep him on the team in that way. Whitney, Marriage and Money says Mike Morris is a little light to play inside. Well, he's an inside-outside guy, Whitney, so it's a little bit like Michael Bennett. You know, I would reckon to guess Mike Morris is probably a couple pounds heavier than Michael Bennett, and Michael Bennett was able to play inside-outside. And what it is you play him for certain downs to certain spots. So early downs, you'd have a Mike Morris off the edge. And you let him set the hard edges, and you let him be in that role. And then if you have later downs, you kick him inside when he can be a pass rusher in there. And where he got his sack today, Whitney, was he got it inside from the guard position. He got it inside from the defensive tackle position. So he does show you that he can kind of do a bit of both. Do you want him on early downs to be at the point of attack at the defensive tackle position? No, you definitely don't want that. But he can play some legitimate flexibility between the inside-outside angle of it. Yollins says McIntosh ahead of Otani? Shehe? I know you meant, though. You meant not Otani, but it probably auto-corrected you on that one, didn't it? You mean Holani. And no. Yes, I do believe that he's firmly ahead of Holani. Not firmly, but he's ahead of him. He's the number 3. Holani's the number 4. They're probably very close together where it all comes out in the wash. But he's your 3rd at this point. He's earned it, and he ran great today. And Power Code says, schematically, what did you all find interesting today? For me, it was the running back pitch plays and jet sweeps with Chenault. Also like some of the defensive back blitzes. Still feels pretty vanilla. Yeah, too tough to come away from much of it for both sides of the ball for me today with that. I mean, they blitzed about 3 times through the first 3 quarters, and all 3 of those blitzes felt like they, in somehow or another, either got home or they forced the quarterback to have to make a bad decision. And then it didn't seem like you went to him very often. At the end, you started to dial up the blitzes more and more at that point with the 4 stringers, but those guys were not as good at hiding the blitz. There was a little bit more of telegraphing. Rudolph was picking it up a mile away at times. So I did like to see it when they did bring in some of those stack boxes and blitzes, because you're like, ooh, here's a taste of it. Offensively, using the fly sweep game still, using the bubble screen game still, was encouraged by that. I didn't feel like you did a ton dynamically offensively other than you were willing to attack all corners in the run game. We'll go A, B gap. We'll go to the edges. We'll use the fly sweeps. We'll go to those pitch plays like you say. I like to see a little bit of the diversity within the rushing attack that's been missing in recent years. But I thought passing the ball, it was hard always to see exactly what they were trying to accomplish in throwing the ball and where they were going with the ball. Though Hal, on a couple of those drives through the end of the half, was on it and made some big-time throws. That's for sure. Good to see him pushing the ball down the field a little bit, too, today on some of those throws. Hawkiner, Myers beads to be put in a soundproof booth on the sideline so he doesn't know when the Seahawks score a touchdown. Tell him he's just out there kicking an easy field goal. Richie says, okay, time to give Holton Allers a call. Brian says, we won this game in my mind, didn't see any injuries. That's the big part you do track through training camp, don't you, Brian? And it's a part that fans don't often pay a lot of attention to. But it is one that I do definitely always am keeping a side on, Brian, because it's that great equalizer. You can build a great team, a talented team, a young team on the rise. And if it's your year to get snake bit, if the injury luck just hits you in the wrong way, you're dead in the water from the first game. And you're seeing the team that emerges as that this year already so far in a team like Minnesota and the cavalcade of injuries that they've had to deal with already out the gate from their standpoint. You go, boy, they're sort of looking like that team right now. And as you get through training camp here for the Hawks, there's a couple of guys that got some minor dings and pings. Draymond Jones working through that hamstring injury, for instance. But nothing super major has jumped out yet. We'll see where Pharaoh Brown's at with that ankle injury long term and if he can come back on that. But you now have gotten through your second training camp day. You're 17 days into August. You got one more preseason game left. And the health of the team is held up pretty well. It's looking pretty good for game one. And that's, like you say, Brian, that's no small thing. And it's very, very encouraging. Redeemed Patriot, as far as Meyer, hopefully we'll get more touchdowns this year and he won't be as critically needed. Agreed, Redeemed. That's a great point on your part. You definitely have had struggles in red zones and punching the ball in recent years necessarily. And then maybe you'll get a little bit more of that this year, and then that's less of needing Myers to hit 35, 40 field goals over the course of the season. And so less of the spotlight then on him because of that. Jeffrey Thistle, thank you for the $2 donation. Jeffrey, I do appreciate you for that. As long as Greg Olson isn't our token commentator. Yeah, I'm good without Greg on that. He's always got that axe to grind with Seattle for his one season, which I don't ever understand. You got paid $7 million and you caught like 3 passes. What's the problem here? What are we mad at? What are we angry about? Third leg, Greg needs to pipe down. Thank you though, Jeffrey. I appreciate you, brother. Ran the cut. PJ did indeed look worse than Locke out there. Yeah. Mr. Isaac, it's been almost a year since I participated in a live chat. New dad life. Hello, fellow 12s. Well, congratulations on the new fathership, Mr. Isaac. Hope it's going great. And thank you for jumping and returning back into the fray. Brian Barry says Morris is 290s last I checked. That's good for inside. Yeah. He's not too bad on there. He can make it work on that inside. It's tactically using him in the right spots for the right down and distances and the right, whether there's a higher likelihood of run versus pass. Warchi says, I hope we can keep Sharif. With more experience and reps, I see him blossoming into an all-out menace off the edge. He was really good again here today. He got that one sack on the play where he's got it unblocked and he's just firing off the ball under control, gets back there and able to bring him to the ground. He had 3 other tackles in this game. He is a guy that plays with his hair on fire with a lot of energy and effort, and you can feel that he's got some explosiveness off the ball in addition to that. He's very, very impressive over the last couple of games. Jefferman9 says, Titans fan here. Good game, guys. It was fun, but sloppy game. Thanks, Hawks Nest, for the play-by-play. I don't get the games where I live, so this allowed me to follow along. Best of luck to you guys. Well, thank you, Jeff, and congratulations to the Titans team out there winning this game. You guys absolutely did win this, and it was we were doing our best, and it's preseason. It doesn't count for anything, but it's worth whatever. It's worth something on that, and I think you guys can feel a little bit better as you came into this preseason about your quarterback position than I think it's been in the last couple of years. Malik Willis seems like, I know the bottom line on the stats from Malik Willis' side is maybe he didn't play a great game, but I thought he was pretty solid in this game overall. The play calling didn't, I think, help him out as much versus what Rudolph was getting, if that makes sense. And Rudolph was pretty nails in this game. Very, very impressive. Standing tall in the pocket, taking the hit, smart decision-making, throwing with anticipation, beating the blitz, recognizing the blitz. Very, very impressive to watch him do that. And a lot of what he did with us against us last year at Pittsburgh. So, it's not just kind of a one-off flash in the pan thing. He's got that in his bag. But Titans are an interesting team. We're doing the prep work, Jefferman, for you guys and seeing how you kind of put this offseason together and seeing the approach they're taking with both sides of the ball. It could be a very fun team in the way they put this together. There's a little bit of a numbers game in the way I think they've tried to reconstitute this a bit. Rather than trying to go for big name signings, it's a little bit of looking for that value out there in spots, like you guys have done with our ex-safeties, for instance. But it can work out. It's buy low and get high, and then buy low and get some high returns back, and that team could be very interesting in a division that's, I think, relatively open there, Jeff. When he says DJ James ain't him, no, I don't think he's him either. I don't think he's him either. I am not so sure as well. We will probably do a little wrap up here, quick wrap up, and I'll bounce back around. I'm going to go get some dinner, and then we'll be back over here, probably do some post-game discussion for maybe about another hour and a half here after I get back in. But let's get the last couple questions on in and a little bit on that side of it. I want to thank as well the sponsor of this show, which is Underdog Fantasy. You can utilize Underdog Fantasy code today. My code, NEST, on Underdog Fantasy for the first time, and they will match you up to $100 up to your first deposit of up to $100. So just use my code, NEST, N-E-S-T, and get on Underdog, get in on those picks. They've got some juicy picks out there, some 3-time bets that you can take advantage of. Really, really great picks. Go out there, win yourself some money, and then use my code at the same point for some free ... dollar bills in your pocket. But thank you to Underdog Fantasy for sponsoring the Hawks Nest, as they will be again throughout the course of this upcoming season. Redeem Patriot. When we make the playoffs, can we get Hawk to a girl to visit? I'll try. She might be too big time by that point, Redeem Patriot. You know? She's getting a lot of run. She's getting a lot of run off that Tua. She's getting more run off the Tua than Tua's getting off the Tua. Jennifer Colon. Is it possible to get another third-string quarterback? Walker is not it. Seems so off and totally flat. Sam, on the other side, was a real nice backup quarterback. Yeah, Sam started to really bring it together in that second half and show you some of the capabilities of what he brings to the table. And Walker, yeah, looked very lost, and he didn't look exactly on it last week either, in addition to this. And it is discouraging, Jennifer. I think the part that I find discouraging is not Walker and the performance necessarily, and not being a great thrower of the football and a great processor in the pocket and very accurate as a thrower. My issue with him comes more down to using your legs. He's a very mobile guy. He's a guy that has got to lean on his legs to be successful as a quarterback in this sport if he's out there on the football field. He didn't run one time in this game. Not one time did he try to use his legs. Not one time did he even try to look to use his legs. And you can, as a quarterback, come out there and be a little bit shorter, have accuracy issues, not be a processor in the pocket, have really good mobility, and then just say, I'm going to dump all this mobility and just try to be back here slinging the rock back here all day. That's not your role if you're going to be that third quarterback on a team. Because if you are called upon, God forbid, if you do got to be called upon, and let's say Gino's out for a week or two and Sam went down to a hamstring injury, and you got to have Walker come out there for a game or two, you're going to want him to lean on those legs. You're not wanting him back there tossing dimes all over the field. Use your legs. Make that an instituted part of your game that's there on the regular. And it wasn't there today. I didn't see it a lot last week. And if Walker's not using his legs, his value as a third quarterback, to your point, Jennifer, goes down remarkably, stiffly down. Mr. Isaac says, I'm so amped for this season. Knight looked really good. Hall looked good. Lots of young talent and a smart young coach as well. Well said, man. Yeah, Knight looked really good. He did. And Hall's come forward in a big way, which looks nice. I thought even Darrell Taylor, not against the run, but against the pass as a pass rusher, he was able to create some early pressures out there. So maybe he can be that fourth guy for us. We'll see. But those guys look good. Knight and Hall in particular on the defense looked really good. Jeff Logan, I love the fight we saw tonight. It bodes well for the regular season. Definitely was a toughly fought game. It was a little bit sloppy, as the Titan fan was mentioning above, but a well fought game nonetheless. Pickering on the IR? Brian Berry, who do you mean by Pickering? If you can mention on that, I'm not jumping out to me. Warchi says, B, I'd bring in a rookie or a new kicker every preseason just to light a fire under the starting kicker's butt, but missing a point after, that's ridiculous. It would be great to ideally do that. I think if we want to pull back this a little bit from my standpoint, War Chief, onto where we really begin from on this, that's the problematic spot, is making a kicker a $5 million per year guy. The kicking position and the kickers in this league, if you look across the board, it's one that just has this up and down fluctuation. Myers is not the only guy with the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde season by season change that undertakes him. So from my standpoint, what it comes down to is it's a position with a lot of volatility to it. And so in that volatility, you don't want to be paying for something that's not going to give you performance that you can absolutely rely upon and know is going to be there and true and good. And so John didn't seem to want to take this into heart with Myers. He seemed to think he was getting one of the best kickers in the league, and by the contract that he gave him, I think it's one of those few contracts over the last few years that's been a big time miss by Schneider, and that this was really not a smart deal on the surface of it to give out, and it's not looked any more the smarter here after you've given it out. And so I'm with you. It'd be nice to do that. Unfortunately, it's not really possible to do that if the kicker knows there's no way you're going to release him. You're not going to pay an extra $1.5 million more this year to move on from Myers. And it's not just $1.5 million more at that point with the dead money. It's also the extra money you have to onboard to then bring that new kicker onto the active roster. It's like, do we just keep Jason Myers or do we spend $2.5 million to go get another kicker? On top of paying for exactly what we're going to have to pay for Myers on his contract. We have to pay every last dollar that is owed this year, basically, when you factor in the dead money hit of the bonus money coming to bear. And so that's really where that's where the correctable part of this decision-making process is from Schneider's standpoint when he looks forward on this. Because it's not about raking Schneider over the coals on this prior decision. It's more about now as we go into the future here, John. There is kind of only one Justin Tucker-like guy out there here. There are some other good kickers, but the fluctuation remains. So let's not pay for the fluctuation. The fluctuation should be what it is, and the up and down of the kickers is what it is. And you can always go draft a guy, try to just go find a guy in the 4th round like you did with Dixon. That's another part. I don't mind going that way either, because the bottom line then is you're keeping the kicking price low. That's my whole thing with this. I don't want to be paying $5-6 million for a kicker. Veteran minimum. That's where we need to be. War Chief, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate you for that. War Chief, B, I just got done working. You got me through the whole day. I appreciate you. I'm buying you a beer. Enjoy, man. Well, thank you for the $5 and buying me a beer on that one. I appreciate the $5 and glad to get you through the workday. I've said I love the thought process of when we're doing podcasts and normal stuff, just being able to listen to me in the background. That's the way I used to always, and how I'd even now to this day, consume the content myself when I'm listening to podcasts and stuff. It's the best of ways to do it, kind of, as you're kind of just side earing it, so to speak, on your end of it. But thank you, man, War Chief. I really do appreciate you. I do like your competition idea too with the kickers, and that I don't mind doing it that way either. Bring in 2, let them battle it out. Just Thunderdome it, man. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. Nathan Pickering. He's on the IR, Brian? Okay. I thought we'd waived him. We'll probably do an injury settlement there with him, Brian. Give him a couple $1,000 and we call it a day on that. Mega says, Hawks Nest, what if, what is the PA thing? What is the PAT thing Myers missed? Never heard of it. PAT, point after attempt. PAT, point after attempt. So it's the extra point after you make a touchdown. And Myers has missed 2 of them so far this preseason period, Megan. Isaac says, buy low, get high. Gordon Gekko meets Charlie Chong. Brian Easton Gibbs is back. I didn't even notice. He was out there a little bit at the end of the game. They did a lot of running out there with early Knight, Radigan, O'Connell, Tyrese Knight. So he kind of had to wait his turn on this game. Riverside, we had 31,700 comments on this video. Holy moly. That's a lot of comments. And Gunny, thank you for reminding me that. Please do, guys, on this stream today. Hit that like button if you could. It not only helps out this video, helps out all the other videos, helps out the channel and showing me up on those algorithm searches that people look for when they're looking for hot content. And get subbed up too if you're not already. We are on the road to 20,000 subscribers this year. I'd like to get over that margin this year before we get to the point of February if we can. We're right lockstep in there and we're rolling along, but you can help us get there just a little bit closer by subbing up today. I would really appreciate it. And it really does help the channel out by you guys doing that stuff. So we'd love to have our best year this year of growth if we can. We're on the road. We need those subs. We need those people clicking that sub button. And I really do appreciate when you do. We had a good turnout today, especially for a preseason game. T-Man says, was Eskridge injured today? Yeah, T-Man, I'm sorry, man. I regret to inform you that indeed Eskridge got injured last year in his first preseason game. Where have we heard that before? And right now, the hill is looking like a very tall climb for our man Dwayne to make the roster at this point. I don't know how there's any other bottom line to it but that. You have Laviska looking good. You have Aesop Winston's and even White's as receivers looking better than Eskridge at doing receiver things. And I just don't know how it goes down at this point. he's going to have to maybe light it up by preseason three game, or he will have had to have been looking great in camp if there's some other way for him to make the roster at this point. I'm befuddled. Redeem Patriot says, thanks. Good show. Thank you, Redeem Patriot. Appreciate you watching. Jason Schumacher, I'm a laptop that's working as a desktop. I do that. I've done that in the past myself. Well, I've got my poor laptop right now. It's like, I think I've had this thing for a good 12, 13 years. It's holding on for dear life now. I definitely am due to have to go get a new one. I'm trying to just squeeze out its last little bit if I can. Squeeze it out. All right. Well, we'll put a button on this one at this point. Whitney, I thought Miles Adams flashed today. He did flash today. Yeah, him and Mike Morris got a lot of play in this game. 4 tackles for him. A pass defense. He knocked the ball down at the line of scrimmage. I think he also supplied some pressure at one point or another, at least a couple times there, Whitney. And he played a pretty solid game. He's a guy fighting his butt off to try to make this roster, and it might come down to between him and Mike Morris, between the two of who can make or who is or is not going to make the roster. But he was doing what he could out there. And he's been a very interesting player to watch over the last couple of years from my standpoint of it, because I do like his game. He knows how to use his hands. He understands leverage. But part of having such a stacked defensive line like we do is it's going to make an uphill battle for a very talented guy to make this team because of it. He's a guy that even if he doesn't make the roster, probably has a good chance of some team out there maybe liking him as their last defensive tackle on their roster. Isaac says at training camp, somebody said to me, swear to God, Eskridge is the fastest guy in the field, to which I replied, he's also the fastest off of it. It's true. It's brutal, but it's true, man. I mean, it is what it is. It's just like, dude, like you can't go one game without getting nicked. Like you weren't even getting a lot of run last week. It's not even like we gave you 10 touches. You had like one ball thrown to you and you came up injured. Some guys just can't stay healthy. We've seen it before, and seems to be the word on the street now. J.O., no word on Farrell Brown yet. I've been looking to see when we get an update on him. Luckily that we haven't heard some season-ending thing, right, J.O.? So I think that's what we can take from this, is it might be a somewhat serious injury, but it's not going to be one that would look at this point to potentially take him out the whole season through. Because I think we would have heard that by this point. Could be that. Could be that. All right, folks, we'll hit that like button for me one more time as we walk on out here. I will be back in about 45 minutes. We'll do a little bit more post-discussion breakdown of this, maybe quick hour as we finish up when I get back here. But I will be back soon in about another 45 minutes, hour or so back, and we'll do the post-game discussion on that side of it. I thank you guys all today for watching. Really appreciate the kind comments and the great energy from the chat. Always there, always present. You guys always get it. We can have disagreement here, and there'll be those points within the chat as it is, but we just always want to make sure we're on that respectful point, because if we can all keep that line towed, the discussion can remain open and vibrant and can go any different direction it wants to turn. And that's what I want this channel to always completely be about. So I really do thank you guys for that, because it's no small thing, and it shows up ever present every time that I get to go live and do this show and chop it up with you guys. So we'll be back in about 45 minutes with a post-game discussion. But until that time, I appreciate you guys watching. I thank you guys. Great turnout today. Hit that like button if you could. Please sub up if you can as well. Maybe use my code on Underdog with NEST. But beyond all that, so what? It's a little bit of a tough loss at the end. They nipped us just barely on a missed PAT as it all breaks down. But that's okay. This is preseason. These games don't count. They don't matter for anything. We're just looking for this team to develop, continue to get better. It's things that are encouraging signs for us as we go to the regular season. And I think that we've seen that so far through the first, not only two first preseason games, but throughout training camp under Mike McDonald so far. It's a developmental process. It's just continuing along. And we'll just have to continue to see how this goes through. So back soon. And Castro, 369, thank you for answering my call, Castro. You're finishing us off greatly. Nice sub just to finish us off, Castro. That's just how I want to finish off. Just like that, brother. Thank you for answering the heat, answering the call, and subbing on up, folks. It helps this channel out. I really, really do appreciate it. Be back in about an hour. Shouldn't have to remind you in that hour. You may be a little down on the losses. You may be in the swamps because of PJ Walker or Jason Myers. So I'm going to remind you right now, don't you let yourself get down. Do not you ever forget. Don't you ever forget. Come on now. Go Hawks.